time, and Ocala finally pushes through to come to the championship game. Last night, the Aztecs knocked off their opponent, and then Ocala won in extra time and penalty kicks against the Laredo Heat. They come here tonight to figure out who goes on to the national championship weekend next week. And thanks for joining here with us, Ross Kelly here alongside myself, Ross Scavina here on Texas Student Television and KBRX Radio. Ross, we've got a good one, don't we?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, Zach Pope, the assistant coach, was saying we've made it to the Elite Eight, but the mission and the dream doesn't start here. I mean, Austin always wanted to push as far as possible, and the goal is to get to the national championship, quote unquote. So to be able to host the regional finals against Ocala, yeah, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic one.
Right, and going on to next week, you know, the two big surprises last night, Des Moines and FC Tucson going down in the second round. I mean, after that, things shake up pretty crazily going on to the rest of the Michigan Bucks going on. I mean, a strong team looking forward. But looking at what's left in the USLPDL, just any surprises there for you?
You know, no, I heard that FC Tucson was actually a very strong team. They were doing some great stuff down there. But Michigan Bucks has always been a very strong organization. And it just goes to show you, I mean, you can't ever worry about other parts of the region, other teams you're playing against. You've really just got to handle what you can handle. And it's also great that Austin has been able to have home field advantage in a lot of these games as well. And just, you know, get on with it. It doesn't matter who you play. It doesn't matter what jersey they're on. The Austin has the capability and the mindset that they can win that game.
Right, and the Michigan Bucks host the player who won the Golden Boot this year, Xander Katic, with 16 goals on the season.
That's impressive.
16, that's right. I'm not making that up.
No.
So going through, there's certainly a lot of talent left in this. But in this game tonight, there's certainly a lot of talent on both ends of the team. So for Austin, just who do you think on this team will have a great impact today?
You know, I think Chewy's going to have a great game. You know, he's been just banging in goals since day one of the season. He's also been so dynamic and threatening. But we were also talking, you know, look for Bubba, who got a great goal yesterday, to come in as a second-half substitute to do well. Coach Manny had to be smart about who he started and who he brought on. You know, it might be a tactical move when Ocala's legs are getting a little bit tired to bring on Bubba in the second half and really stretch them. So, especially playing a game yesterday, just because you're not starting doesn't mean you're going to have a huge advantage. So, I'd say Chewy for the full 90 as well, but also Bubba can come in and steal one late for us.
And that was one of the big things that they had an advantage against Southwest Florida.
Absolutely.
They only had 3 players on their bench, and only one of them was a goalie. So having that backup definitely does help out. But on the other end, with Ocala finally getting past the first round in their 3 years of existence, who do you see sticking out for them?
You know, we were speaking about it earlier. Elijah Ellett looks like a great player. 8 goals and 6 assists on the season. Ocala's a good team. I remember playing them 2 years ago when we actually went over to Florida. They were great hosts as well. But, you know, if you're able to have that many goals and that many assists in a very short season, you're going to be dangerous, right? You know, look for him in the attacking third to try to get it off that top guy and spray it wide, spray it left, and have a shot himself. So let's see how the back line and let's see how Devin, our keeper, you know, interacts with that and make sure Elijah doesn't get those shots.
Certainly will be a good one tonight. And just coming up in about 5 minutes for kickoff here on Texas Student Television, it's the Southern Conference Championship. Stay with us.
Spoglass, the Aztex team partners. We don't just build buildings, we build people. Alcon PTS, the official information technology service provider of the Austin Aztecs. Trust our experience to manage your business technology. Agile Assets, the leading global provider of integrated infrastructure asset management software solutions. Court, the official furniture solutions provider for the Austin Aztecs. Live, work, celebrate, embodies Court's dedication to deliver unparalleled customer service. Stubbs Legendary Barbecue, the Aztecs' preferred barbecue sauce. Doucette and Associates, our newest sponsors specializing in civil engineering, entitlements, and mapping. The commitment you expect, the experience you need, and the people you trust. Airmar, Austin's only non-stop airline service to Mexico City.
And welcome back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Southern Conference Championship here in Austin, Texas, between the Austin Aztecs and the Ocala Stampede. The Ocala Stampede and the Austin Aztecs are 2 of the most successful PDL programs in the entire league, both racking up 99 points in the last 3 years. Wow. And Ocala finally eclipsing the goal that has evaded them the past 3 years, getting past the first round, and they did it last night. Took them to get it through in penalty kicks, but they're finally here. And
No, sorry to cut you off, Brooks, and absolutely. I mean, again, from my days where I remember Ocala, they've been a kind of a great asset to the league. They play technically good soccer, and the same thing as Austin. And in this league, if you can play technically good soccer year in, year out, and that's your philosophy, you're going to do well. And we're also chatting how hot it is. I'm wondering how many water breaks they're going to let us or let the boys have. I don't know who that favors more. I mean, Austin's used to this heat. Ocala is right outside Orlando. That is a very, very hot and humid part of the country as well. So, I mean, it is 100 degrees at kickoff, and it's tough. When the sun goes down, it's a different game. But, I mean, look for those fatigued legs, right? Some of these guys played 90 minutes yesterday.
And, I mean, one of the things that I've learned over the course of the season is just how much water weight a player can lose. And yesterday, watching some of these games, and yesterday, talking with some of the staff from the Aztecs, it's not unnormal for players like Jeff Hallwell to lose 8 pounds in a game. Chewy Cortez can lose up to a dozen in a game, so you really have to be concerned about that. Sometimes it is water weight, but 2 games back-to-back, Saturday, then Sunday.
Yeah.
That's almost 2/3 of a marathon that you're running in.
Yeah. And I think we obviously do it in the league because of the travel and duration. I remember when I was playing, it was at least Friday, Sunday. Saturday, Sunday, back-to-back is pretty crazy. I've never, seen or heard of that even in the college level and so forth. You'd always have at least a day break because you have to think, I mean, after a game of soccer, you are absolutely depleted. I mean, you hit the ice bath, your back, your legs, even your arm, your whole kind of body's aching, and you're tight. And then the next day you got to wake up, and the trainer, I'm sure, is with both teams and getting that lactic acid out of them because their legs have just, frozen up all night. And to get that out of them and to get them warm and hot again, it is going to be a complete collective team effort tonight. There's going to be some people who've really got to hydrate. You've got to hydrate when it's this hot and you've played the game before to help your muscles out, to really kind of, give them the liquid that they need. And, I know Coach Manny's is saying, hey, guys, look, it may be crazy and it may be a day after, but you know what? Ocala played yesterday as well, and the heat's there for them as well. So it's one of those games, kind of like the NBA Finals, right? The heat, the AC goes off. It's what team's going to whine and complain about, and what team's going to say, hey, that is pretty crazy to play 2 back-to-back games in 100-degree heat.
All right, and there's no conspiracy here. It's the sun above.
Yeah.
And, I mean, with Ocala playing yesterday before them, they've had a little bit more time to recover. Do you think that adds a little bit more of an advantage there?
Well, yes and no. Think about it. I mean, the heat was probably hotter in Ocala's game than it was in Austin's game with the sun going down. I mean, it's all about this Texas sun. I mean, when that thing goes down, it's bearable. It's decently nice. It drops to 70. The sun's not baking on you, so that's fine. But when you're playing and the sun's up there, it's a whole different ball game. So, listen, having an hour or two before, difference of wrestling really doesn't do too much. At the end of the day, both teams have played 90 minutes. Ocala went into penalties. I mean, think about not even just the being tired from a regular game, but the nerves and kind of having to step up and the whirlwind of emotions. Winning on a penalty shootouts is you give a lot just from energy and passion. So that can be a roller coaster. And let's see which team tonight comes out flat, comes out a little bit lethargic, or which team really gets after it early. Because that, we're at the point now where you can win these games early on. And I hope Austin doesn't come off to a slow start, which we have, been seeing in the regular season. So,
all right, and those of you who tuned in last night to watch, the Aztecs really came out like there was a fire run.
Yeah.
Going out, scoring a goal early, and it might have been just the welcoming back of Mikey Ambrose who got through on it. So, adding him back into the lineup probably helped out a little bit.
Absolutely.
And, one of my key concerns, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes, is the late injury to Cito Sion took him out. Looked like he was holding his calf muscle going out, but he is back in the lineup today. I mean, going back-to-back games, I don't imagine that we see him for an entire game, maybe even less than a half.
Yeah, no, and Cito's one of those players that plays with so much energy and passion. We were speaking about it earlier. He's almost angry or mad. He's running around like a madman out there. He's getting into tackles, which you absolutely love to see, but what also is going to come of it is you're going to get some knocks. You're going to get some injuries, especially playing against some big boys in the back. So I'll be very, very curious to see how Coach Manny works out the subs. Again, we've got some fantastic players on the bench. We've also got some fantastic players in the field. So I don't know who he comes out, who he gets a rest. Does Cito play the whole game? The thing with Cito is he's just so dangerous. You want to keep him in because him on that left foot could be a goal at any point. But you've got players like Adam Black, you've got Bubba like we talked about. So you've also got some great holy midfielders, and let's see if different tactics allude for different players as well, right? If it's the second half and we're winning, maybe we put in Alessi to kind of calm the game down and get our passes back under control. If we're of course losing, obviously the inevitable would you put in some more attacking force. You'd have to take someone like Kalen out of the back or something like that and either push him forward or actually take a defender completely out and play a 3-5-2 or 3-4-3 or something like that.
All right, and we'll get a chance to talk more about the lineup, but we're going to take a quick look around the nation right now in this PDL playoffs. 47 minutes ago, the final out in the conference finals in the Eastern Conference between the West Virginia Chaos and the Jersey Express. The Jersey Express won 3-1, so they're moving on to face the Michigan Bucks next weekend to see who goes on to the national championship. And we talked about Michigan earlier on. They have the voted best player in the nation waiting for them. Just for the Jersey Express to go through that way, that's good for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's great players across this entire league, different regions, different kind of play. Austin gets players from all over, but of course it does stick with a lot of Texas kids, a lot of Oklahoma kids, and kind of Southeast kids as well. Of course, we've got players from all over, but you're going to get that. So it's cool to see the different regions, right? I'm sure a lot of the Florida Ocala players come from Florida, and then of course Jersey. There's some great soccer up in the Northeast, and Michigan Bucks is always a fantastic organization. So it's good to see. But like I've said, year in year out, it's honestly not being cocky with the Aztecs. It's just the way we blew away with our point total, the way Austin can play, the way we're the reigning champions, is it doesn't matter who it is, honestly. And Coach Paul Dalglish used to kind of beat that into us. It's all about playing your game, playing your style, playing your philosophy, and you'll get the win. Because here's the thing. There's not enough kind of time to run around and scout all these teams that thoroughly. Obviously, you're going to have film on different teams. At the end of the day, it's just focusing about your play, right? It's not like you're going to have an extensive, a scouting report. Of course you'll have a scouting report, but you haven't sat there day in, day out, and you also haven't seen that team respectively. Right. So if we play a Jersey Express or whatnot, we don't know what they're like day in, day out. Of course, we'll get film on them, but it's all about just taking care of what you can do.
And that's also true about facing Ocala today.
Yeah.
The last time that they saw each other was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, absolutely. So you might know a couple players that are returning, maybe the same philosophies there, and you'll see film. But at the end of the day, it's not like the leagues, like the Premier League or the MLS, where you see these teams quite more often, and you can call up a coach or a buddy and know them. It's a little bit less than that. So there is that kind of unknowing, and that's where Coach Manny has to prep them. Give them a good report. Say who's the dangerous guy. Say who's the height. Seeing Ocala come out, it looks like they've got some really big boys actually. So it looks like set pieces are going to have to be an issue for Austin. We are not the biggest team, in all honesty. We've got some great headers of the ball. And we've got some very strong players in Kalen and Travis and of course Devin back there. But we're definitely not the tallest players. So stuff like that it always has to be kind of something you match up with.
All right. And out there in the Eastern Conference, last year the Aztecs led the league in goals scored and the least amount of goals given. But out there, you've got players like Katich that's scoring 16 goals, and then for West Virginia out there, Kenny Ease, who was named onto the Player of the Week, went through a July stretch where he had a hat trick and 2 straight 2-goal games, and that can rack up a lot of scoring, and that's not something that we've seen from the Aztecs this year. And if they do get past this game, we had a chance to talk about this game a lot today. Do you think that kind of defense can slow down that kind of speed?
Yeah, honestly, I think they can, but I think you're right about the point you made where Coach Manny's just saying, hey, guys, just focus. You're in your home field. You've got a fantastic Ocala team. Keep in mind, they beat Laredo.
Yeah.
Now, was Laredo the old Laredo, where they were kind of a menacing force? Laredo has won national championships. They used to be a fantastic organization, and they still are run very well, don't get me wrong, but I think everyone can admit they're not the old Laredo that used to just really kind of claim this division back in the day. But still, to beat Laredo, it says a lot, because that team is always ready to play come the big games. And of course, they've got a great philosophy. But to your point, yes, if we get out of this game, which is a huge game to do, I think, of course, Austin can handle any team they play against. Of course, if someone has 16 goals, you've really got to have good communication. And I obviously played center back, so you pretty much want to have an eye on that guy every time, or your other center back. And so you're just communicating all game, saying, hey, Travis, you're on your left shoulder. And then Travis back to me, hey, Ross, now he's on your right shoulder. And you constantly, one marks, one covers, one marks, one covers, one marks, and one covers. And it sounds redundant and exhausting, but what happens is why the best forwards are so good is because you just give them one little break or one little minute where you're not communicating and being on your best, the ball's in the back of the net. And that's how the best forwards in the world, the players that play in the top leagues, that's how it happens. They just sneak away from the defender who's played them fantastically all day. The ball's in the back of the net. And so absolutely can they handle them, of course. But you've got to communicate. You've got to be on your absolute best, never diving in, on your toes, communicating, holding a good line, covering each other. It's not just one-on-one out there. It's a team ball. But absolutely, and I think they would enjoy that test as well.
Well, they'll certainly get a chance to see if they can get past today, and awaiting them is the Kitsap Pumas, who upset FC Tucson 3-0 last night. So big upset there. A lot of people thought FC Tucson would make it out and even challenge whoever came out of the Southern Conference here. But looking at the starting lineups for tonight, we'll go ahead and look at two of them. And we'd like to remind you that this broadcast is powered by Verizon 4G LTE. For the Austin Aztecs, starting at goalkeeper, Devin Perales. In the defense, Kalen Ryden, Sebastian Pineda, Travis Golden, and Mikey Ambrose. In the midfield, Danny Freed, Jeff Harwell, Eddie Campbell, Adam Black, and Cito Sillon. So, injured late in the last game, makes back into the starting lineup today. And at the forward, Chewy Cortez. Now for the Ocala Stampede, starting at goalkeeper, Lex Craggs. In the defense, Sam Duinuk, Ben Knight, Paco Craig, and Samuel Mansour. In the midfield, Linus Hilton, Stevie Walmsey, Cajun Blandon, and Bruno Castro. And in the forwards, Ilsa Isaac and Karama Janic. So seeing Mikey Ambrose back in at the defense last night, was able to come in and score the first goal. Eddie Campbell came in the second half and really sparked the offense. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes back into it. Eddie Campbell coming into the lineup.
Yeah, Eddie's been great. He's a lot of people don't know he's an old vet of this team too. He was there about 4 or 5 years ago. So glad to see him back and getting some minutes.
And with this, we'll pause for the national anthem.
The
crowd is ready here in Austin, Texas for some Southern Conference Championship soccer. Last night, House Park and its fans of the Austin Aztecs broke a record attendance with 4,754 people. Tonight, they look to break it again, second consecutive night. They're well accounted for after last week whenever they played the Houston Dutch Lions. Basically got a hurricane that ended the game in the second half.
Wow. Yeah, that was crazy. I remember that.
But today, it goes from rain, and all of that has been all but dried up with a 99-degree sunset that is not going fast enough, if you ask me.
No. You know, it hasn't been the hottest of summer, but we finally got into that stretch now where, you know, when the rain's not there, it seems to just have really gotten hot these past couple weeks. Apart from that, you know, crazy tornado hurricane we had a couple weeks ago, it's been getting, you know, it's warm. I mean, not a lick of water around, and yeah, the sun has had no clouds today, so it's been pretty hot, that's for sure.
And we're just minutes away from the starting kickoff for the day. The Aztecs in their home, navy and gold. Ocala in their traveler in whites, black pants.
And by the way, let me add, I mean, just seeing the guys out there just gives me chills. I mean, this is, you know, from the day you come in at preseason to all the college games that they warm up with. You know, all these players have come in from different colleges, and they finally group together. They're under the same philosophy. You had Coach Manny, Coach Zach are new coaches this year. You know, everyone was wondering what's it all going to be about this year. You know, it's a different organization. It's a different setup. For them to come back and just dominate this year, back to the regional finals, home ground. You got players like Jeff Hartwell out there, you know, getting the kickoff. It is an awesome kind of serene feeling. Travis had a horrible leg break or something like that a while back, and you know, him out there as a center back. I mean, it's just cool. It's really cool to see, you know, them, the quest for another back-to-back national championship. It's fantastic. There's some new guys in there, which is great. Danny Freed's got the starting defensive central mid position, which is fantastic for him. He munches people and passes the ball, and you know, it's just cool to see. I mean, back and to be able to host it and these fans again. We're going pro next year. It's cool. It's an awesome time.
Well, the road back to the national championship starts with the home team with the ball. As you said, Adam Black there and Jeff Harwell to get the kickoff.
Yep.
And I mean, it wasn't long ago before you were able to feel that feeling too.
You're just pumped up. I mean, I know it's hot, but you're throwing water on yourselves, and you're just getting after it. You're like, let's do this, guys. And give Ocala credit too. They're jacked up too. You see them getting after it. Hey guys, we want to get to the national finals as well. You know, so this is what it's all about. They're going to be pumped. You know, all the regular season games and the preseason, it really doesn't mean too much, does it? It's all about these. Win or go home. Penalty shootout if we don't go through. You know, nice Sunday afternoon. So we'll see.
Well, Ocala has gotten past the first round for the first time in their history, and they're trying to make it a memorable one even further. And this one starts off as Sebastian Pineda.
You see that pressure? My God. You know, they're jacked up.
And Karamba Janae came out there flying, trying to get right after that when they try and give Perales his first save attempt of the game.
And this will be a great test for Austin as well as a player development league. You know, they've just been better than a lot of teams this year, and it's good to see them go against a team that, you know, that is a well-sound team. You know, it's gonna be fun to see that.
And in the backfield, Craig, and it's stolen away. Adam Black trying to find some space. Cito in the middle. We talked about his right calf. He looks fine out there, and it's taken away. Hilton with it.
Both teams are getting a little bit scared, you know, especially at the back. You know, as a forward, you always want to press on. You know, you never know. Some clumsy center back could have it slip, you know, no matter what level of soccer you're playing. Even at the top, sometimes center backs get it stuck under their feet. So you see both forwards really kind of pressuring to see if they can steal one.
Well, those of you that were able to tune in for the Laredo-Ocala game yesterday, if you were able to find it, Ocala slow played the Laredo Heat for most of the game. Didn't get a chance to score until Laredo scored in the 86th minute. And then only 30 seconds after did Ocala reply. I mean, do you feel like they run this one the same way?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing that they got a goal so late to tie that up and then win in penalties. But, you know, I think both teams' philosophy right now is both of their philosophies is to control the game. Both of their philosophies is to get the ball down and play and make chances for themselves because both teams are technically sound. I mean, I don't see either team dropping back. I mean, you've already seen Ocala's forward just completely, you know, pressure our defense as hard as he could. So there's not going to be any sitting back or let the other team have possession. There's going to be a dogfight in there, and possession will just come whoever keeps it best, obviously.
Well, both teams are struggling to hold on to position. A lot of out of bounds to start off this one, a hold one. A throw in to Freed. And you mentioned how some people coming back from injuries. Freed had a leg injury to start throughout this game to come back into it.
Oh, look at this. Oh, it's offside.
Big opportunity for Janae, and they will call offsides. A little too good to be true for Janae.
You know, Janae's fast. I mean, that's going to be it's going to be an interesting combo. You know, for Travis and Devin and Tucker to sort out back there of who's really going to be, you know, the person, you know, responsible or, you know, keep checking off and so forth. But you know, you've really got to chat when you have someone who's got that much speed.
Well, Perales will bring it all the way out, almost to midfield. And with this, do you go ahead and take a shot at the goal here?
No, not that crazy. I'm sure Devin would want to if he could.
Oh, Black comes in. Harwell with a shot blocked off. Campbell taking another shot, batted down.
Gorgeous technique. Eddie Campbell takes it down himself and rifles one right at the keeper. No, obviously you don't take a shot that far, but Devin's got a fantastic leg. It's one of his best attributes, you know, the way he can, on a dime, punt and kick it to people. You just put it in the box and see what happens.
Well, it was excellent control by Campbell to even get a shot like that, and it was on target as well. And Ocala trying to get their first shot on goal of the day. Janae in the middle falls down. They call a foul. He was helped down by Freed, and he's earned a free kick in the midfield. And coming up to take it will be Lewis Hilton. Lewis Hilton from Young Harris College out in Georgia, a private institution, joined by his teammate Elijah Illich. So the two of them coming all the way to Florida to play. And here's the free kick taken. Chipper over on the left side trying to handle it. Gets it to Walmsley. Walmsley back into the middle, finding Adam Black, trying to chase over. Here comes Campbell's speed into the midfield. All the way over, and Perales will take an easy one. Leads it out to the left side. And maybe he expected Black to have a little more room over there.
Yeah, I think it just skimmed off the outside of his left foot, and it just kind of popped outside. It was just, you know, ball was rolling away from him.
Well, Ambrose started in the midfield yesterday, in defense today. As Eddie Campbell substituted for his spot today.
You know, I was just thinking that. It's a testament to the versatility of the team. You see Ambrose left back. Kalen's gone out to right back, which he's been playing a lot of left and center this year. And then you've got Pineda and Travis obviously holding down the center back spot. So it's just interesting to see kind of all the movement and fluidity, you know.
Oh, a nice lead up to Cito on the left side. And they call offside. So he was desperately trying to stay onside, but they call it regardless. He had an offsides called against him last night as well, so frustration building up for him, I'm sure.
And this is better from Austin. This is what you want. Dandy getting the win, getting the pass. Mickey holds onto it a tiny bit too long, was able to get out of it. Well done. And just slow it down, you know, get it on Trav's feet. Get it to Pineda, get some space. And just slow it down a little bit. You know, obviously both teams have been intense, and that's why they're getting after it, but you really want to keep the possession.
The Aztecs sweep it back on their defensive side, trying to find some space here.
Danny comes deep to collect, which is great, and Travis has this fantastic left foot with a great switch there.
All the way over, Gomez takes it, Ryden, and taken away from by Ocala. Freed coming after, challenging. Hilton in the middle. Cito forces a turnover. Black with it.
Ooh, great
nice little move. Over to Campbell on the right end. Tries to lead it to... He probably figured Chewy was going after the ball, but a little miscommunication there leads to a turnover. 6.5 minutes gone here in House Park. Still no score. As the fans starting to fill up both ends here. Walmsley gets it back over to Cargos. Craggs passes it up. Both teams with similar offensive mindsets here. Trying to create space, trading over possession. Golden passes back to Perales. Almost mirroring each other in attempts. Perales will take it again. Now Golden, named to the PDL Team of the Week last week. Honorable mention, played well yesterday, stopped plenty of throw-ins against the Southwest Florida Adrenaline. They had up to a dozen in the second half, and they could not even get a shot out. That's how relentless the back line was. We'll see if that's tested at all today.
Yeah, and I can't speak any more higher of Travis Golden. He is a fantastic player. I mean, awesome left foot. You know, just a monster. You know, he's got that baby face, but he's that baby face assassin. You know, he can just crunch someone if they're running at him. And he's got great feet, great technique. He went to Campbell, was fantastic there. I hope he gets a contract if he wants to stay in Austin. He's a local boy from Bowie High School. So, yeah, great friends with Chris Tierpak as well, who's his buddy doing well out west in the MLS. So, yeah, Travis is great, and he's sorting out this back line. You know, they're great players as well, but you've got to have one of those leaders that's been there and can kind of tell people to tuck and get in and get after it. He's soft-spoken, but, I mean, he definitely gets his message across. Travis is an awesome player.
Went to the middle. Ocala trying to find some space. I mean, over on the other end, Eddie Campbell tried to come over with a right cross, just couldn't get that handled. Now Ocala takes his shot over, and Perales scoots it down. Probably could have let it fly, but he takes it anyway.
It's a good 40-yard low bullet there. You know, Austin has this possession in the back, which is great. But I'd love now to get some of the forward players involved. We haven't been able to kind of hold it in their half, which is always the toughest thing to do. But get the ball down and spray some passes with Jeff and, you know, Chewy.
Well, you mentioned now Chris Tierpak coming last year over in Chivas. And the Super Draft got over and played well over there. And, you know, there's plenty of players on. I mean, Cito got a shot with the Houston Dynamo going through. I mean, do you feel like
Travis also got drafted as well? And, you know, obviously Cito, yeah. I mean, there's going to be players that always make the MLS, especially how good Austin does.
Chasing over, trying to get it, and it's slid away from Craggs. Eddie Campbell trying to use that speed to get there.
Yeah, that speed is electrifying what he has. I mean, I don't know if their backline knows it yet, but Eddie can get behind people in the blink of an eye.
Oh, and he gets a steal here. See if he taps it over. Cortez gets it over, stolen right back away. And Ocala regains possession. But I mean, going back to that, and perhaps a try for them. Freed takes it away, though. It goes over to Perales. But mentioning that yesterday, Campbell has the ability to take what looks like an easy play for a goalie and give him just a little bit more stress. And even if it doesn't result in a goal, just building up that stress against a goalie can work numbers for you.
Oh, man, look at that speed.
Play, a shot maybe right side and in.
Oh, my goodness.
The first goal coming for the Ocala Stampede off the foot of Karamba Janae.
You know what, I was just saying, we were talking about it. That speed from Janae is electrifying. And Pineda was just not able to keep up. Trav has been playing a little too high, I think, and a little bit too forward thinking, which is great, but you've got to cover him. And he was just able to beautifully run by Pineda and slot it. I mean, absolutely slot it far corner. I mean, that was textbook. It was a gorgeous goal. You know, and, you know, you're down 1-0.
Well, the Aztecs find themselves down 1-0 for the first time in 2 weeks. Last time down against the Midland Odessa Sockers here in House Park, where they were able to come back and tie it in extra time.
Janae can give Eddie a run for his money. I mean, Janae is so fast, and he's situated there, and our center backs do spread out a lot on offense, and that could cause for a quick counter.
And across from Black over into the middle, they'll call it out of bounds. But, I mean, the ability to get that ball just a touch out there to allow yourself to get that speed on the left side to even get that free shot was impressive by Janae.
And the thing is Janae's just on the heels of Pineda now. He knows that's his spot. You obviously saw he's great with his left foot, so I think he likes to hang out there. And you know, that's what a forward does. He finds that one center back, and he's going to have a run in him all day. Let's see how Pineda bounces back.
Karamba Janae, all the way from Banjul, Gambia. Started off his time with the Ocala Stampede back in 2012. Played a little bit for Tampa Bay in 2013, came back. And
how is Gambia not a better soccer country with Kakuta coming from there? Now, Janae, you got Buba. I mean, look at him. Look at that speed. He's just got it again.
We'll see if he gets another shot here. Free some space up. Chipper into the middle, headed away. Still not out of trouble yet. Blandon with it. Taps it over into the midfield. Perhaps a clear shot. Over the side. Offsides. Oh.
This is looking dodgy for Austin. I mean, they're in there. They're mixing around. They're getting some 1-2s. I don't know. I mean, that's obviously easy to say since we're down, Austin's down 1-0, but the confidence just doesn't look like it's there. They look a bit tired. Jeff hasn't got as much touches there. He gets it one now, but I'd love to see some more, 1-2s, more overlaps, more direct play.
And they're creating the space that they'd like. And a deep pass over to Ryden.
It's better.
Nice touch in midfield. Tries to get a shot off, blocked away. But it's one thing to create the space. They've been able to do that now. But the touches, the quick passes over to get that open shot there. I mean, he was maybe a foot offsides. It was a close call right there. I was surprised to even see that. But that's just exactly what you want, even if you're going to get that call.
I remember a coach saying to me, it's not bad if you're missing chances. It's if you're not getting chances is when it's bad. Because, if you miss a wide open goal, I mean, obviously it's horrible, but you put yourself in a very good position, and you need to make sure you get the next one. But if you're not getting chances, that's the scary thing. So.
Oh, and Janae takes a nice little swat for Pineda up, and coming after, Pineda boots it away.
Oops, that was a bit dicey.
The heart rate of every Austin Aztecs fan and player and coach in this entire stadium has gone up in the past 2 minutes. And Black chases over to try and give some more stress, but that'll be booted away.
There's been a lot of dodgy pass backs, on both teams and all that stuff. I remember reading Roy Keane's biography. He's one of the Man United legends and Republic of Ireland center mid legends, but in Nottingham Forest, in his back days, he passed a back pass, and a forward just took the ball and tapped it in. And his manager at the time, Brian Clough, just socked him in the face at halftime or after the game and said, don't ever do that again. So obviously the game's progressed since, the early 90s, and you do get your keeper involved a lot, but you've got to be careful. I mean, we gave it to Devin, 3 yards away from a player jumping on him?
Definitely don't want to make a mistake like that, especially being down 1. It's going to be even harder to come back to. Perhaps a try here from Cito, off the left foot, dragged right. And the keeper, Craggs, gets it there to retain possession. Not exactly the best try Cito probably would have liked, but he's going for any chance at all.
Yeah.
Loosed into the middle. 16 minutes gone here in House Park. The Aztecs down 1-0 to the Ocala Stampede. Stampede charging again on the offense. Freed takes this one away. Mickey Ambrose to Freed. Trying to move it forward is Ryden. Cortez with a goal last night, trying to provide a spark here. Find some open ground.
Oh, great ball.
Campbell up to Harwell.
Fantastic ball from Eddie. Someone's got to be in the box. I know Jeff was coming late, but get in there. Get in the 6-yard box. Get a tap in. That's what you need.
Mickey on the near side. Holding on to possession here. Probably the best they've handled it so far this game. Cortez in the middle.
Love seeing Chewy on the ball. Just getting it, mixing it up. Getting it wide. Look, he's going to get it again now.
Keep away until you find a shot. That seems to be the plan here.
Poor pass there. I mean, Austin's got to be moving. I mean, Kalen gets it and just has to lump it in the mix. Pass and move. Obviously we get another chance because they just kick it out of bounds. But get the ball, spray it around, get it again, and someone get a shot.
You imagine he'll throw this near the post as far as he can here?
Yeah, I think Kalen's got a strong arm. He's just going to bullet it in there to Cito.
Lofted up near post, header out. Cortez takes it in the foot, loses it. Freed tries to come back to it, and he's going to be called for a foul. The foot clocked over on Mansour.
You know what? Obviously, a tiny bit of a soft call, but great great foul from Danny Freed. I mean, that's why he's out there. He's this big boy, defensive central mid with a lot of smaller technical players around him, and that's what he's supposed to do. If that ball's, about to be on a fast break, he's got to stop that and cause a foul. I mean, that's just what he's got to do. He's almost, the formation we play here in Austin, he's almost a center back, because Travis and Pineda split when we have the ball in offense. So Danny has to come in deep, almost deeper than them, get it, and spray it around as pretty much ends up being a 3 in the back. Our wing backs with Ambrose and Kalen ended up being almost midfielders. So, great job from Danny Freed. He's been box to box this game, and we need to have some people match his intensity. I mean, he's down their end, and now he's back at this end. I mean, that is your typical box-to-box midfielder. So,
do you think that was possibly the idea, putting Mickey in the backfield at defense, so even whenever he comes up, it's almost like he's in his natural position?
Yeah. I mean, he get touches. An outside back in this formation, which I love, is it's a midfielder. It's a winger. It's someone who gets around Cito and chips the ball into the box for them. So, yeah, absolutely.
Well, throw in from Ocala in good field position. See if they can find the space they'd like. Cortez comes after it, rolls out. They'll call a foul.
Love that. Smallest guy in the field, Chewy, but one of the smartest and most skillful, is able to body someone and just kind of get the goal kick and let Austin kind of revamp here.
Well, some people might call it unfair. He's the closest to the ball.
Yeah, right?
He can find that. Corrales will get his chance to show off his leg here. Down into the midfield. Taken off the head. Sebastian Pineda, in his 3rd game for the Aztecs all season, came in for the first time 2 Thursdays ago against the Dutch Lions. And a lead up for Ocala here. Taken away from Golden. Excellent footing.
And, that little sequence, it's just not good enough from Austin. It looks like Ocala just wants it right there.
Oh, a nice little move. Loses it, though. Goes back to it. And it's kicked out. That's Isaac Illich. We talked about it in the pregame.
Yep.
9th in all of the PDL. And goal scored 8. And the counter here from the Aztecs. Cito slowing it down. Trying to find some room here. Maybe a tap back to Black. Black can't handle it. Falls over. And they'll call a foul. That's what he wanted.
No. The ref's saying, get up, guys.
The play goes on.
They both kind of ran into each other, but...
All right, Black back up as quick as he could. Blocked away, and it goes out of bounds. Back up towards Ocala way, but at least Campbell was able to get in there and cause some havoc.
It's been only 20 minutes, but it feels like it's been an hour because the intensity and the energy is pretty insane out there. There's a lot of people exerting a lot of energy. There's already been a goal. The sun's setting now, so let's see if kind of Austin just can revamp a little bit and kind of put the ball down and have a couple more, better opportunities right on goal.
And it almost feel like 2 heavyweight fighters that are reaching the 10th round. Who have already fought another fighter a night ago.
It's as if the first round they just all came out and were just swinging, and now they're just...
Well, here's another shot for Cito in the middle. Nice can't hold on to it. They're going to call a foul. He'll get a free kick with a pretty good shot and a good angle. It looked like he almost just lost his footing there. And they're arguing their point. And the official will not change his mind. Now, with an opportunity like this, do you go straight for the goal, or you try something tricky and free up something else?
No, you absolutely go straight for the goal. Now, however, you saw the U.S., the World Cup team, they were able to do kind of an overlap and a little pass, but honestly, you only bring those out once in a blue moon just to keep them off guard. Right now, you see Adam Black and Chewy lining up. I mean, you're 24 yards out. You're going to go straight for goal here and try to score.
Well, looks like Chewy takes a shot over and over the goal with a diving Craggs.
That actually nipped the top crossbar and skimmed out. That was...
Well, about as good a shot as he could get. I mean, even if he had brought that over just a few inches, that still would have gone over the fingertips of Craggs.
It was nice. It was dipping. It was hit with pace. Maybe a little bit more to the corners, that thing would have gone in.
Well, Chewy delivered last night, and he was hoping to do it again, but the Aztecs still find themselves down 1-0. Quick
Look at that speed.
Here's Janae again, a shot that he wanted, but just couldn't find the bounce that he needed. Perala's probably really happy with how that turned out.
And we talked about that speed in the beginning of the game, not against Janae, but against that other striker you mentioned. But look at that short. The quick free kick you have. You've got to get in front of the ball if you're midfielder on quick free kicks. Have to. And then also as a defender, you have to be switched on all the time because Janae's speed is insane, and he looks like he's not slowing down. And honestly, it was a kind of a poor take in the end on his left foot, but he got himself in great position. I mean, he should have done much better there.
Hallwell chips over to Campbell. That just might have been 2 goals in 1/2. The Aztecs have been down for the most that they have been this entire season. Danny Free takes it in the chest, trying to find something going. 23 minutes gone. Oh, a nice little tap juggle. Campbell out on the right side. See what it can do. Crossover, shot over left. Wanted it as bad as any. But in 2 minutes, 2 shots from the Aztecs have both gone wide. Craggs will reset here. The Aztecs getting opportunities, and folks, if you were watching last night, it took 8 tries before they got their first one. So at least getting the possibilities of getting through and trying to get to the goal. You at least need to start adding some intensity on the offensive end. They're doing that now.
Yeah. Eddie's been playing great with these little flicks over people's head, but let's see if Austin can catch a break.
Well, they've had most of the possession on their end. Mickey Ambrose coming up into the midfield in his natural position, playing defense, back to Freed. And they'll slow play here, back to Pineda. Pineda had a heck of a game yesterday, as much of the back line did. Golden back to Ambrose. Ambrose joining the team once again this week. Said hello yesterday with the first goal of the game.
I like the way Mickey plays. He just took a great chest there and passed it around, and he keeps popping in the middle, then popping wide, popping in the middle, popping wide, and he's got some great feet. So it's
Cito trying to hang on to it, and his cleat goes right into the chest of Lewis Helton, and the official calls it free kick there. Getting up slowly. But Cito had some trouble coming out of a double team like that, trying to hold on to it, and then just finding a little extra after. I mean, whenever you get that pass, does Cito need to get that out quicker, you think?
Yeah, it's all about, Cito try to do a little turn, which is fine, but, if you can't turn, obviously you just want to play back and get around people and get in better opportunities where you don't have to do a full turn and lose the ball. Because that's the whole goal is as a midfielder is you don't want to just give it up.
Oh, nice touch from Campbell. Leads up, Black coming over. Might be a shot here. Up on the left, Tapper, and tipped away.
Wow. That was crazy. The keeper got flat-footed there. He wanted to go forward, and then all of a sudden he second-guessed and he came back. He should have come out originally. Adam has a one-on-one chance, and just kind of hits it at the keeper, and that was a huge opportunity.
Shot still probably available here. Cortez loses it, recovers on the right side. Campbell. Tap back to Campbell. Into the mid side, taken away. Cito trying to handle, fighting for it, but Ocala's regained possession.
And Eddie's been fantastic with these crosses. He's getting to the byline and he's just cutting it back. And if someone, I'd love to see Jeff Harwell. I know he's got the wherewithal and the age and the experience to get in that mix and get one of Eddie's crosses, because right then, Cito and him had a great one too. I think it was Chewy. Eddie's speed is insane, and he's destroying that outside back, and he's playing these cutback balls. Someone's just got to be in the mix and just put it away. That trailing run, that Frank Lampard at Chelsea special, just trailing it, get right in the box and just slot it in the corner.
Free kick from Cortez. Header towards Black with the left foot, cross out of bounds. And I feel like Black, whenever he had that one-on-one, was trying to get a bouncer just over the goalkeeper's head, but instead hit him right in the hands. I mean, I feel like in those situations, is that what you're trying to do, trying to get a bouncer over? Is that the number one shot?
It's a little bit of everything. I mean, you know, I always like to tuck it to the outside of a keeper. When a keeper's coming out, you just want to slot it to the left or the right. You can go over him because the keeper goes low. Mm-hmm. You can do a chip if you want to. Messi seems to do that every time he gets it.
Hollow with an opportunity to Cito on the left end. Pushes it forward, crossover, batted away.
Still, you can beat the keeper on a dribble. There's a lot of things you have to do.
Cortez trying to free up some space. Black in the middle. Back to Pineda.
Great touch from Pineda.
I feel like that was a pretty dangerous pass, too, because Janae, if he had been able to get to that, he had a free shot. Right side wide.
And it's great where Austin's at right now. Travis is 5 yards into their half. Pineda's all the way up. You know, it's good. That tends to happen when you're a goal down, you know. Ocala almost subconsciously drops back. And so this is the time where Austin really wants to control it and get one before half, because you don't want to go into the locker rooms, you know, being down and seeing, okay, I'm going to have to start pulling people. I'm going to have to start changing formations up, right?
Craggs into the middle. About 15 minutes away from halftime. Not much. Oh, it feels like Andy Campbell was being dragged down. He wants a call. Doesn't get it. Pretty clean half. Don't expect much extra time for the first half. Over to Travis Golden on the near side, trying to block it away. He does, but it's still an attack here. Isaac losing touch there. Cortez can't hold on. Stolen back away. They've got the numbers. Janae gets shoved away from Pineda. Still gets it out there, but Golden takes it away. Oh, wow. Oh, a diving sacrifice.
Not calling that? Jeez.
That is what in basketball you call over the back, but usually that means people aren't jumping over your back.
You know, refs letting the boys play today. He's, you know, regional final. Going to be no gift calls, it looks like, so.
Well, the Ocala Stampede in the second round for the first time ever. Now they're selling out in that play. You can see it as well. Cito going after the ball, trying to find some space. Late tackle. Out of bounds. They'll get a throw in. .30 minutes here in House Park. Ocala leads it 1-0. I'd like to remind you that this broadcast is powered by Verizon 4G LTE here on Texas Student Television. Brooks Cabini here with Ross Kelly. Ross Kelly joining us again tonight. Had our special guest, Rodrigo Marina, from the Laredo Heat, in with us yesterday. Laredo losing in penalty kicks to Ocala.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Felt like they've surely been able to get over there. And fighting over, taking him down is Mickey Ambrose, and he'll get called for the foul. Right up against Isaac. So they get a free kick. Lewis Helton looks like he'll take it. Pretty good angle here. Do you feel like he goes for the goal here?
For here, he doesn't go for the goal, and it's actually unusual. He's a right-footed kicker. You want left foot, but he's going to put in the mix and hopefully get a header.
See if he gets it. No. Outside, Campbell chasing.
Actually, great cross. Put it right with some speed on there, but
Cortez trying to take the counter and booted. That might hit the van. Chasing after like a dog on the street. That one is for the Creek. Eddie Campbell takes the fresh new ball and goes out of bounds. That'll get dirty quickly. They've had plenty of shots here after the first goal to try and tie this one up. It almost feels like it's bound to happen soon.
Yeah, there's something's going to give. You know, look at Austin all the way in the second in this half. You know, Janae's the only one up top pressuring. But there just needs to be a little bit more magic, you know, getting into Adam Black, getting into Chewy, for us to kind of really capitalize.
Hallwell taps a nice pass to Ambrose. A cross over the middle, headed away. Still not out of trouble yet. Cortez in the middle. leads it over the left. Ambrose with another cross tapped away. Oh, falls the defender. And Freed possibly with a shot. No. Right side. They have their space and they have some time here. Campbell with a shot over. He thought he had a wide open space in the leg of Samuel Mansour. Took that one completely away.
Love that from Danny Freed. He got the ball and said, I'm not going to, this isn't my cup of tea. I need to spray it out wide and get it to Eddie's feet. And then Eddie, again, he's just been dangerous. And that deflection, you get so many goals in deflections because the keeper's gone down and it's able to go over him. So, we'll see. Travis is holding back for this corner.
The Austin corner, wide.
It was either a poor delivery or no one made a back post run. Either combo of the two, but it just goes out.
Well, Craggs will take it here.
We know Kalen can put it in if he put it on his head. So we'll see if he's able to get one tonight.
Kalen was able to do that against Midland Odessa earlier on this year, and I felt like that was as good as an attempt as any. At least in the possession scheme for the Aztecs. You free up some space, get some shots open. I mean, that's just building frustration. And if Sion represents anything on the Aztecs, is persistence will count eventually.
Oh, absolutely. And look at Janae. He nearly had it there, but at speed, the minute he gets around someone, quick throw, and there he goes.
There he goes on the left end. He's been known to have great feet, too. Pushes over, taking in the chest, perhaps a shot, bounced off. Lewis Helton trying to make the second goal of the afternoon. But Janae, we talk about his speed, but he's got great footing, too. We saw him make a nice crossover in the first half, and even then, just freeing up some space for him to get that cross.
Yeah, it's lethal. Speed and good feet is a great combination, because sometimes you get speed with no skill.
It's like trying to put Usain Bolt on a soccer field.
Right.
Yeah, that might work out.
He'll cause problems, but he'll miss a lot of wide open shots.
You might have to put a couple of dollars in the back of the officials' spine. Don't call some offsides, which throw it deep, but Freed in the middle. Pineda on the right side. They tried doing that in football a lot, They tried out Usain Bolt at wide receiver.
Oh, did they?
Didn't really work out.
Really? Why not?
Just couldn't catch.
Yeah. Obviously, that's a huge part of that.
You got to get it. And Pineda into the middle. Hallwell trying to free up some space here. Ambrose. See if they make a run here. Taps it over. Cito chasing over, fighting for it, and he gets batted right back.
Usain Bolt's actually a big Man United fan, big soccer fan, so... And there, look at Janae. He's off.
Again, the left end. This is almost a one-on-one shot. Another shot and in. Off the left side. That almost looked like it was in. Hit the net. He wants a foul. But my goodness.
Do you see that again as well? Pineda is one-on-one with him, and Travis is still high and up. I know Travis is fantastic as an offensive player, but there's no coverage. Janae has his free run at Pineda. He's able to get around him, and honestly, that should have been 2-0. It hits the side netting.
Wow, just the ability to free up space up the middle. That was about as a one-on-one shot as you get.
And actually, look, this is an interesting. I don't know if it's happened just.
Well, Freed.
I don't know if it happened just in the open play, but it looked like Kalen actually switched with Pineda. It looks like Kalen's jumped back to center back now. I don't know if that's staying as is, but Kalen looks like he's switched with Pineda for the time being, and Kalen's now at center back, and Kalen is an athlete. So maybe that's the situation. Hey, Pineda, play out right, get forward a little bit, have your feet. Let me handle Janae, because he is a handful. That could have been 2. 100%.
Well, he certainly created a mismatch on the left end, and they get a corner kick here. Shot over, header on the left end, almost an opportunity again, but
out. See if Eddie takes off here.
We'll see Campbell's speed possibly. Almost mishandles the ball, takes it back, and they'll reset back to Cortez. You mentioned it, you have to have good speed and good feet. Wasn't able to hold on to that, which would have possibly turn into an opportunity for him. But you're right. It should be 2-0 here in House Park.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Janae's through. Look at that ball again. Janae could be in.
Well, Kalen might be the right substitution.
So the switch did happen. Kalen's center back now. I don't know if he did that manually or if Coach Manny said something, but Pineda looks to be outside back now, and Kalen in the middle with Travis.
Well, I hope that certainly works more. Cortez in the middle. I mean, if you're on the other side for Ocala, that's been your matchup all night that you've won it. Yeah. Now it's taken away. How do you counter that?
Well, I think like I've been saying, Trav has to help out a little bit. He has to cover that back line. I mean, obviously Pineda's a fantastic defender, but you've got to cover with speed. You've got to always help out. So it looks like it's been one-on-one all day, and you really don't want one-on-one. You always want a little bit of cover and defense. But, yeah, I mean, of course, if you see a matchup that's working for some reason, and this one is just a pure speed matchup, then, yeah, you're going to keep exploiting that. And it's not Pineda's issue. It's just Janae's insanely fast. He actually goes down here. Let's hope he's okay.
Well, that'd be a big hit for Ocala.
And actually, I think it's a great move, actually, from Austin's side period, because I've seen Kalen, quote-unquote, manhandle forwards. I mean, he is an athlete. I mean, he's so versatile. He plays left back, right back, center back. His feet are great, and he's just, he could almost be a cornerback. He's so fit, or like a linebacker. I mean, he's just solid rock muscle, and his speed's electric. So it looks like, he's put it on himself. Or I don't know if Coach Manny did, but he's saying, I'm going to be the center back, and I'm marking Janae. Because Janae, it doesn't matter who. Janae looks like, it's not that he's going after Pineda. It looks like he likes that little pocket, to beat people and have that left-footed shot. Pretty much exactly how the goal was. That's what he wants. Some people like to play on the opposite field and cut in. It looks like he doesn't. He likes to just stay on the left side with his left foot. And it looks like Kalen's going to be handling him for at least the rest of this half. We'll see if there's any other changes or whatnot.
Well, they just had their first water break of the night. 93 degrees now, sun setting. But yesterday, Laredo and Ocala had 3 water breaks in the first half.
I've never even heard of that. That's incredible. But obviously, this heat is insane. But
started at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And in most of soccer, you won't hear of back-to-back games either, so that happens.
Right.
Pineda throws into Cortez. 40 minutes gone here in House Park. Ocala still leads it 1-0. Cortez trying to find some space. A nice takeaway from Blandon. But the Aztecs recover. They do not want to go into the locker room one down. That's for sure.
No. This is where you're always taught to never give a goal right before an intermission. So you don't want to give a goal after the first 10 minutes of the beginning of the game, or either side of the half, or the last 10 of the game. So Ocala looks like they're just sitting back now. They've lost their kind of desire to possess and go forward now. They're just saying let's get into halftime and get a pep talk. And now Austin's saying, guys, we've got them on the edge. Let's get one before half, and we can tie this thing up going into the break.
Cortez with a hesitant leg on the right side. Tapper behind Campbell. Miscommunication.
And it just looks like, and again, it could change in any second, but it just looks like they're running out of ideas. They're getting there, and Chewy's on it, and there's just not a lot of off-the-ball runs. Cito looks like he's getting upset and saying he wants the ball. But there's just not a lot of, Ocala's doing a good job at frustrating them. I mean, that's how this game's played.
Well, Ocala has their game plan figured out. Get it to 1-0 on that left side, and he can make it happen.
Yep.
And they almost try and get it to him there. Cito coming back there. The Aztecs 1-0. Flicks it up left side. Black chasing. Out of bounds. He'll get a corner kick.
And we talk about speed, and we also talk about scouting and so forth. I'm sure a ton of coaches and staff.
They'll call it Ocala.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm sure a ton of staff watched the Ocala game yesterday, but maybe they didn't account for how quick Janae is. Because seeing it from our angle here, I mean, he is fast. Kalen's already bodying up on him. I love that. Kalen's just going to be on the rest of this half here.
On the header down. The call of foul will be the Aztecs free kick, but you were mentioning, Janae coming from Gambia.
Yeah.
They might have a pretty good national team in about 4 years.
Yeah, I mean,
these guys come up.
These are the guys that are here. I don't know if Janae goes back home a lot, but I know Kakuta said he wanted to play for the United States. I'm sure he has dual citizenship. So, yeah, I'm sure they've got a fantastic players in Gambia, I'm sure. Let's see if they can progress. It's tough to qualify for the World Cup coming from Africa. There's a lot of teams you have to go against.
And the strange thing is, we'll watch them every 4 years, but I mean, it starts next year.
Yeah.
Just the qualifying, it takes a long time. So even if you come in,
here he goes.
Janae coming on the left side.
That. He's off.
Perhaps another opportunity here. Coming on the right side, trying to flick it over to the middle, over and wide. Janae waited on that. I figured he'd go ahead and take a whack at it.
Yeah, well, Kalen was able to get back well enough, and Janae, he's almost like, guys, does anyone else want to help me out? I mean, he just literally rolled a ball across the 6-yard box, and Hudson was, or excuse me, Helton was just there, and he nearly got on it, but Janae is able to just really counter, and he's looking for people to come out and help him out here.
Janae having that free spot, trying to share the love there. I mean, I feel like you have the goal already. You probably could have. Do you feel like since he missed the last one that he was trying to figure it out a little bit more on his end on the passing scheme?
Yeah, maybe he's a little tired. He cut back, and maybe he just didn't have the energy to just run and take a shot that time.
Oh, he's on the left side again, right in, takes that one out.
And you see that? Kalen is ready to rock, and just Kalen's not messing around. I mean, Kalen's pumped up, and just that's what you need. That is what you need as a center back. I mean, that's the position I played. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to tackle people. You're supposed to get physical, not a bad foul at all. He wasn't even a foul. He just kicked the ball out of bounds, and Janae was probably running so fast that a little bit of a bump. But I don't think they actually start qualifying for the World Cup next year. What they do is the European countries have the Euro Cup, and we have CONCACAF Gold Cup, and you got the African Cup of Nations. But you're right, in two years or so, you start gearing up already. So it is pretty crazy.
Well, up and another shot, left side wide. But one of the points that comes around that sometimes the teams that you see qualify, a lot of the players don't even make it.
No, yeah, because you're right. It's such a long process. Some of those players that are qualifying aren't the players when it comes. I mean, you want young teams. You want the 18-year-old now because he's 22 when the World Cup comes around.
That's called long-term thinking. A lot longer than I think.
Yeah, it's tough. And you see the teams that keep the same squad ended up not doing the best. So it is tough. It is a tough kind of.
Well, we've reached the end of the first half in the 45 regulation minutes. There will be 2 minutes of added time. The Aztecs will try to use every second of it to tie this one up.
And I'm going to love seeing this matchup of Kalen and Janae. I really want to see where it goes. I mean, he's staying over there, and Kalen seems to be just marking him today. So,
I mean, we've seen a lot of games in House Park this season so far, and Janae just might be the most exciting visitor we've had.
Oh, he's fast. I mean, that goal was just so well taken.
And Cortez
this is where they can counter.
Here it comes on the right side. Chipper on. It's almost like a deep pass to Janae. Let him go and get it. And ties up with right, and they'll get a throw in.
And it looks like Janae is getting defeated from Kalen. I mean, Kalen's able to read that long ball, not get caught out, body him, get the throw in. And that's how it has to be as a center back. It's you're supposed to just keep being smarter than the offensive player. Keep seeing where he touches the ball, put your body in front. I had a center back I played with in college. He was just a smart player.
Well, that is the whistle for the halftime. And the Ocala Stampede lead the number 1 seed in the Southern Conference, the Austin Aztecs, 1-0.
Oh.
And the Aztecs will have a lot of planning to do. They made one adjustment in this half, moving Caitlin Wright over to cover on Janae, but they're going to have to come up with an offensive scheme, and we'll talk a little bit more of that in our halftime show here on Texas Student Television. We'll be back with that more after this.
Closest to Center Circle will receive a voucher for 2 free tickets in Mexico City. We have received the go-ahead from air traffic control. And yes, you may keep your shoes on. In 3, 2, 1, let them go. Turn flight. Please report to the ticket booth to meet the representative who will have your 2 vouchers for a free flight to Mexico City. For our halftime entertainment, please give a great house park welcome to DJ Danny Boy. And of course at halftime, our beer garden remains open on the southeast corner of House Park, located near the twin white tents across the way. Enjoy treats provided by Holy Kebab, Evil Wiener, Amy's Ice Cream, and Spectrum Concessions.
Well, welcome back to the broadcast here on Texas Student Television, here on the halftime show. Brooks Community here alongside Ross Kelly. The Aztecs down to the Ocala Stampede, 1-0 in the Southern Conference Championship. Here it's a loser goes home, winner goes on to face up in the second round next week to what would be the semifinal, then after that the national championship. And right now the Aztecs have a hill to climb.
Yeah, right now Austin does not go through. With that being said, it is only 1-0, so it's not like this thing has gotten out of hand. It's still been a 50-50 game. Austin's had some great possession. We just haven't been able to kind of put the ball in the back of the net and really kind of make that bit of chemistry between Cito and Eddie and Jeff Harwell and Chewy click. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, at the end of the day, it's 1-0 and there's 45 minutes left, and it's going to call for a huge second half.
And really, one of the biggest stories of the first half is Janae on the other end for the Ocala Stampede, just showing off his great speed, going after getting the first goal, and almost really had a couple of chances to make it 2-0 and even 3-0. So, I mean,
yeah, his speed is electrifying. I mean, we talked about that combination of speed and technique, and honestly, that one goal he scored where he beat Pineda and on his left foot just slotted it past Devin, who's a fantastic keeper of ours, but slotted it, side netting, bottom low, away from the keeper. It's unbelievable. And he got a bit tired, and Kalen was a great sub to get in there because Kalen's an athlete. But yeah, he's an absolutely electrifying player, and he seems to just keep getting past us, keep getting past us. And it just looked like it was a bad matchup with Pineda and Janae because his speed was just too much for us to handle. Travis was kind of leaving Pineda on an island, and so was Kalen on the right back. It ended up just being a one-on-one battle, which is what every forward wants to have. So we'll see if Janae is just able to run loose the second half, or we'll see if Coach Manny has some restrictions. But however, I will say there is going to be some counters because Austin is going to have to push up, and so Janae will have more opportunities. It looks like he's been squandering the later of them, but let's see if he can take one because Austin has to get forward now.
Right. And playing from behind now is something that they're not used to very much coming into this one. Just do you see the substitutions happening right immediately? What changes do you think Coach Manuel Winsella makes?
I don't see substitutions happen right off the bat. I don't know. Maybe Pineda comes out for Cruz. I don't know, though. Maybe he stays in. One thing I do probably see is maybe Danny Freed coming off after a little bit. Not saying Danny hasn't played well. He's been fantastic, but Danny was just box to box. It's a hot field out there. You've got a couple other center mids that you can make space for. And, of course, if you're still down, you've got to have more attacking power. So maybe Danny comes out, and maybe you just have Jeff in there mixing it up, and maybe you put Booba in, right? Or maybe you put Alessi in to replace Danny, and you take one of the forwards out that's just been running too much, or just hasn't been up to speed, and put Booba in for a sub for someone else. But it's all tough. None of these players want to get subbed out. But at the same point, I think Booba's going to have to show his face today and get in there, and so we'll see who comes out for him.
I can almost guarantee we'll see Booba jump in the second half. I mean,
I agree.
Last night came in, scored a goal, and then a week ago on Thursday night against the Houston Dutch Lions, came in and scored 2 back healers. I mean, he's been the spark they've needed.
Yeah. And I think now, as we actually talked about it, do you start Booba? Do you bring him on in the second half? I think now might even be better, right? Ocala seems to be sitting back, and they seem to be tired. They've got 2 great center backs there that are just great headers of the ball, able to lob it forward, and Janae's able to have it. But apart from that, I mean, that's pretty much been their strategy. So if you get someone like Booba to come on and really expose those guys like the ways Eddie's been doing it, I think you can absolutely get some goals. And keep in mind, it's not saying Austin hasn't played well. I think they've lost a little bit of oomph. They've let Ocala win the 50-50s. They let him have it. And you saw when Kalen switched back to center back, he looked angry. He looked pissed off. And you kind of want some more of the Aztecs guys to... It almost seems a bit too lackadaisical out there. Like, it's a Sunday afternoon. It was hot. No one seems to be, at least from what I saw, a little bit jacked up. You saw them walking to the locker room, and that could just be heat. And I'm not saying anything about it, but sometimes body language. I'd like to see, Austin put a more just pull their socks up, put a more kind of aggressive, mean face coming after it, and just get after it. Because, like I said, it's not like they played bad. They're just missing that one tap in. Eddie's given about 4 or 5 fantastic balls in the box. It just needs someone like Jeff Harwell to just do a late run, get the ball 1 or 2 touch, and slot it in the side of the net. But, we'll see. I can almost guarantee there's going to be goals in the second half because both teams are going to have to commit something.
Right, and coming from the Aztecs perspective, you keep grinding Kalen in to try and keep on that matchup there. I mean, you've got to make sure that doesn't happen. Do you think? I mean, if I am on Ocala's side and I look over on this deal, you know that the Aztecs are trying to keep that away. Do you use that as bait at all?
Well, yeah, I think you can. I think you can say it keeps people honest. That whole story of keeping people honest. That's why, as a midfielder, you play through balls over the top, and then you also keep possession. You have to keep that center back honest. If they cheat too high, you can clip over to them. If they're dropping back too much, you're just going to keep possession. So yes, I think if you have that edge of I can burn anyone with speed, it of course plays to Ocala's advantage because Janae can almost, we kind of talked about Football Reference, he can almost be that receiver out there who's always hovering on the back line, always ready to go deep. And so what happens is you've got to respect that, and it can allow for Ocala to play a lot. So, but yes, absolutely. I think Kalen stays on Janae. Kalen is a beast, and I've loved seeing that kid play from seeing some of his games in preseason when I actually played alongside him. I mean, he can match up with anyone. He is an athlete, and he's not afraid of the test. I mean, you've already seen him get physical with Janae. You've seen him mark him tight. You've seen him mark him tight when the ball's not even close. And I love that because that's what center backs do. They kind of get under your skin. They want to just make sure, hey, listen, you're not getting any more goals. I'm here. I'm already pissed off you have one, and you're not getting a second one. So, yeah, I think Kalen stays there. I think Pineda stays outright, or maybe Cruz comes in for him as a sub. So, yeah.
All right, and that coming up in the second half, we're just minutes away from that. I mean, from the Aztecs end, they've got to be able to get a goal in to even think about going into the next round. The Pumas await them in the next round, and I think just the way that they've surmounted through the past couple of weeks, topping off FC Tucson, going through, and they certainly have something coming for them next week if they do indeed go out. So it'll be a tough matchup for Ocala.
Absolutely.
Ocala, coming into this year, have never made it past the first round. So this game, they're playing for everything.
Yep.
I mean, not just a win against the Aztecs, not just a win against the Southern Conference teams that have kept them away from going any further in the playoffs for the past several years. I mean, they really, whenever they have this lead, they don't want to lose it. So do you feel like, from that perspective, that creates a little bit more edge for them in the second half?
Oh, absolutely. You can tell they're amped up. And also, we've spoke about it. Of course, it's always advantage to have home field. No matter what, it's advantage to have home field. But sometimes, these opposing teams can come in, these visiting teams, come in and they're pissed off and they know the fans aren't with them and they just get after and they're angry and they're kind of more just ready for it. And I think you saw that a little bit today. I mean, Ocala got a goal pretty early. I can't recall the exact minute of it, but I mean, it was well into at least under 15 minutes. So all of a sudden you're down 1-0 that quick. And so Austin's almost looking at themselves like, hey, they're spoiling this homecoming. You've got the beautiful fans. We broke the attendance yesterday. It's a party over here. Everyone's having fun. Family's out. And it's like, Ocala's coming in. No, we're angry. We're trying to go into the national championship. And I think it was kind of a splash of water when we were looking up there saying, wow, is Austin already down? So, yeah, I think, listen, it's a great atmosphere out here. There's this great crowd, there's great people, but there's a job to do out there. And Zach Pope, the assistant coach, alluded to it is, this isn't acceptable. Now, are they panicking? No. And I think what Austin's done fantastic all year is they stayed calm, right? Their game is still going to be the same. There's 45 minutes. That is a long time. You don't have to make crazy changes yet. Keep the ball, put the ball down. You're only looking for one chance, you're back in the mix. At a tie game, this thing goes to overtime and penalties, so you don't have to worry. Stay calm, relax. Then as it progresses, maybe 20, 25 minutes in, now you're going to start really kind of making some changes and ramping forward. And then, of course, as the time goes forward, you need to be more and more drastic with how many people you push up and how much you go for it.
Right, and that would be the fourth game in this entire place that have gone to penalty kicks if it does indeed happen tonight. And, whenever I really don't see how that would happen in this game because, with the Aztecs, whenever they score, it seems to come in bunches.
Yeah.
And with
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. No, I mean, when Austin gets going, it's almost like we just need someone to do it, and then everyone gets involved. And if Cito could put one in and gets everyone ramped up, then Adam Black wants in, then Chewy wants in, then Eddie wants in. But there just seems to be some friction in the front of the goal where it's just not, we haven't really had a great amount of chances on goal with the keepers having to make a low diving save away. Chewy had the free kick. Eddie's had a couple opportunities off the half volley, but no one's really tested the keeper as much as we'd like, I'd say.
Right, I feel like Cito is a little frustrated out of this game so far in the first half. And I feel like that plays to his skills. I think whenever he gets frustrated, he starts trying to find out even more. It's almost like a fire burning under him. And under this game, he had a couple opportunities, a couple of mismatches, and then just a few miscommunications on that side. I feel like those are things that Manny will try and talk over the halftime, try and clean things up. Going into that, I think that'll help them out tremendously, because on the opposite side with Ocala, it's been Janae. Janae here, Janae there. What can he do? And if they shut that down, it's going to be very hard for Ocala to produce any insurance.
And I think Kalen's got a footprint on him. I mean, Kalen's tracking him now. Kalen looks like he has his number. But what I mentioned to you earlier about quick players, you have to stay turned on. Because even though Kalen's a fantastic player, something can happen, and all of a sudden, Janae could be behind you.
That's right. And we're just about 5 minutes away from the beginning of the second half here on Texas 2 and Television and KBRX Radio. Going into this, I mean, we saw the game last night. You know, we talked about the conditioning here, and now they had a water break in the first half. I mean, you'll get the substitutions coming in the second half, but I mean, the Aztecs need all the energy they can get.
Yeah.
I mean, after all of this, do you think they still have it?
I think they do. I think what I was saying, I know it's kind of reading really into it, but the body language, they kind of. Austin was kind of a little bit slow to get to the locker room, but I mean, the heat was so unbearable in this first half. I mean, we were sitting up there with our hands over our heads. It was 100 degrees at kickoff. It's amazing just the power of the sun going down. I think it's still 95 degrees, but just the power of the sun going down in Texas changes the whole scene. And now it actually kind of feels a little bit cool out there. I think they'll go in. They'll get some good water. They'll quench up. They might change jerseys or wring it out and just kind of get that wet soppiness off them and just shake it up and be like, hey guys, there's 45 minutes left. The sun's down. It's go time. And I think also pivotal goal for Ocala to get it in that heat, because now they can kind of almost sit back. And I think you're going to see a lot of sitting back from Ocala. I think their coach is going to say, hey, we're going to have Janae crazy up top with counters, and everyone else is going to do possession and counter, and we're going to try to get some goals. But I can't see Ocala really possessing the ball and really holding on to it, which again is dangerous. You know, if you sit back and just play for the counter, it can work because Janae's fantastic and he's very quick. But also, you know, if you play for the 1-0 victory, it's scary because you're going to have chances against you. So I know I'm on a long point here, but my point is Austin's going to have chances the second half. You can almost believe that. It's just who has the composure and the calm head to take them, honestly.
And with that, do you feel like it's easier to play in this kind of weather with this kind of endurance from a team that's already up?
From a team that's what, I'm sorry?
Already up. Is it easier for Ocala to be able to play with this kind of...
Oh, absolutely, because you're pumped up, you've got your goal, you know what you do, but at the same point, you know, I was in college and we lost a lot of kind of last-second goals. It is demoralizing if you're defending all game on a hot surface and you get a goal scored against you, because now you start getting chippy, you start getting upset. You said, hey, why haven't you, that was your guy. So I want to see how it goes. Again, with the heat, the best way to play, and it's the way Austin does play, put the ball down, let the ball work. Possess. Before you know it, even though the sun's down, it is still hot. Ocala will be spread out, and Austin will get in there.
Well, that's what we have our take here for the halftime show here on Texas 2 Television. The Ocala Stampede lead up 1-0 over the Austin Aztecs. Winner moves on to the semifinals next weekend to try and play for the PDL Championship. We'll be back with the second half in a few minutes. Here, stay with us.
Oak Hill Printing, official print partner of the Austin Aztecs. And Brunson Dental, our goal is to make you smile. A reminder that the parking in the ACC parking deck is always free. And with a couple minutes remaining at halftime, a reminder, please enjoy our newly opened beer garden on the east side of the stadium. Enjoy treats provided by Holy Kebab, Evil Wiener, Amy's Ice Cream, and Spectrum Concessions. Our score entering the start of the second half, 1-0, the Stampede out on top with a goal in the 11th minute by number 10, Coromba Janet. 2, Cruz Arona. For number 30,
and welcome back to the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, here at House Park. The start of the second half as the Ocala Stampede lead this one 1-0 over the reigning champions, the Austin Aztecs. And if they want a second title in a row, they're going to have to come back from a lot here. Starting off here, the Ocala Stampede will get the ball, but as we mentioned in the halftime show, we're expecting to see Bubba Job as a substitution, and he has entered the game.
And also Cruz comes in at the right back for Pineda. It looks like Pineda was just a little bit gassed in that half. Obviously, he's a fantastic player, and I think, Coach Manny just wanted to put Cruz out there, that outside back, and see what happens. And also Bubba comes in, so yeah.
Already trying to get out as quick as he can. Gets a nice deflection, but it remains Stampede ball.
It looks like Bubba came in for Adam Black.
And in the middle, Oronos.
So we got two Ghanaians, Bubba and Janae on either side. It's just going to absolutely use their speed and get after it. Or two Gambians, I'm sorry.
Well, Job has 3 goals in the last 2 games, and he's trying to provide the spark for them tonight. They'll need at least 1 to send this one into extra time and possibly even to penalty kicks, but they're hoping to not have any more time. Freed over to the other side, moving left to right now are the Aztecs.
And this is almost clockwork to what we thought. Bubba, Cruz come in. Also, Ocala sits back. It's going to be a long half for them.
Well, Campbell in the middle. Job sneaks it out to Oronos on the right side. Nice cross, header over, and picked up. Job trying to slide that one in, but my goodness, did Craggs put himself in an awkward position there.
And I'm telling you, Ocala, it's a long night when you try to defend all day, and what's going to happen is they're literally putting Chinea up there up top, and it looks like they're just going to be strong and physical and make sure Austin doesn't score. So I think we're going to see a lot of a one-way side affair here and see if we can, get in.
Well, part 1 goes to the Stampede. And the impending attack comes back as Lewis gets tied up.
And that's how they'll break. Great job from Ocala to win that back. They'll get the ball.
And they'll call a yellow card on Cito Sion. Slide from behind.
And Cito's got to watch out. He's got a little bit of a temper. We'd love to see that because he plays with it and he puts the ball in the back of the net. But he's got to be a little bit careful. Obviously, he just got booked with a yellow.
Well, we did talk about how sometimes frustration can lead to good things for Cito, but you're right. They need him on the field.
Absolutely.
I mean, is that a well-deserved yellow card? Or
I don't think Coach Manny thought it was. But, I don't know. He did take him down from behind, so, yeah, you can definitely see the ref, giving him that.
Well, here comes the counter on the other end. Job in the middle. Eddie Campbell with a shot, and it's picked up easily by Craggs. Hey, he made that look easy, sticking into his gloves.
Yeah, it seemed fairly easy. It was straight down the middle to him, but it was hit well. But listen, fair play to Eddie. Well done. Get some shots on goal. Test his keeper a little bit. Obviously, that one was just a little bit too straight, but it was taken from far out. So, well done.
All over the right end, Ocala trying to add some insurance. Isaac passing over, cross. A little too wide, still not out of trouble. Chasing over is Blandon. Into the middle, back to Blandon. And now they kick back and try and open up the offense.
Ooh.
Oh, and a pass just goes way behind. And the Aztecs counter here. Toss over to Job, try to use his speed.
Look, there he's off.
And he can't get onto it.
Oh,
he comes back again. The effort.
Fantastic.
Tosses out to Campbell up on the right side, flips up and batted right back. A swat from Craggs takes the life out of the offense.
And the speed from Bubba and Eddie is just insane. And Eddie looks like he went down kind of sore. Looks like maybe a collarbone or something.
Oh, he's holding that right shoulder where yesterday he went hard down 2 minutes into coming into the game, and that just might be the recurrence of an injury. He played through it last night. And that does not look good.
That looks like a collarbone, doesn't it? It could be, maybe it's the shoulder, but he's looks like he's in some serious agony.
Well, he gets back up. Over, he says, I'll stay on the field. He's just going to jog off here. But that happened last night on his right side, perhaps his shoulder, perhaps his collarbone, but they're going to want him back onto the field. He's created the opportunities in the first half, and the first shot of the second half. Him and Job work in tandem.
I think Eddie realized, I don't want to come off. No.
We'll roll over to Craggs. Craggs has played terrifically throughout this game so far. I mean, he covered the low and the high with that range and was able to get his fingertips on that pass. Header back into the middle. Chewy fighting. Job gets a handle. Do you feel like this changes that opportunity, changes anything for Ocala defensively? Feel like they're being a little too conservative?
No, I think they're just, listen, they've got some great center backs, and that's the position I played. And your job is this. Doesn't matter how much we score, we're going to take care of our back line. And, fair play to them. They're both coming up now for the corner. But, they know Booba's going to be a handful tonight, but they're just taking care of their job, and they're hoping the midfield and the forward can try to get another one on them. So I don't think they're going to change necessarily just because Booba came on, because, listen, Adam Black was fast and dangerous too, but I think they're obviously going to have to communicate and make sure he doesn't get past one of them.
Well, the Ocala corner, right side, headed out. And that'll be a throw-in for the Stampede.
And Ocala's happy at this now. You see, they're just going to get up there, get another good throwing in, and take their time.
And last night, the Aztecs got plenty of practice against throw-ins, 12 in the second half. They get a throw-in short pass. Try and find some space here against the Aztecs defense. Tap to Lewis.
Oh, wow.
Possibly a shot here right over and just on top of the goal.
Wow. That was
Lewis Helton with a clear shot. And the Aztecs just might have gotten away with
another one. It's just...
Oh, and stolen away. Perhaps another time. Tapper up to Janae a little too early. The Aztecs come off of that one. Campbell chasing. Back into the game. 52 minutes gone here in House Park. Ocala still leads it 1-0. I'd like to remind you this broadcast is powered by Verizon 4G LTE. And the Aztecs will go throw in. Rorono subbed in. Playing in the backfield. Miscommunication.
So he said, get it long, and Cruz is saying, show for me. And so
I feel that's a scary end on Buentelo's end for being a head coach for the Aztecs, seeing that kind of opportunity come through. Feeling like that should be where they are.
Oh, it's definitely scary because you think about it, my goodness, Lewis was on goal there. He takes a fantastic shot and, just barely goes over the crossbar. And so there's only so much Devin can do, our keeper. When you're inside the 18 and taking rockets, listen, that's on the midfielders. That's on the defenders at that point.
Well, as we were talking in the halftime show, that's something you give up by being aggressive. That's the shot that resulted after Job Campbell had an opportunity on the right end. That may happen a few more times before this one's up. You have to produce a goal quick if you're going to give up that.
They always say, when it's a 1-0 situation or even a 2-0, the next goal is the biggest. So think about it. If Ocala gets another one right now, a 2-0 is a huge discrepancy. Now, that being said, if Austin gets another one, or gets the first one, it's 1-1. So this next goal is pivotal. It could put it from a 2-0 lead all the way to just a 1-1 tie where both teams are completely in the mix and we're going into overtime. So let's see. Let's see who can kind of space it out and take care of it. But yeah, that could have been easily another goal for Ocala.
Ocala is playing for their furthest attempt in their short 3-year history, but I feel like the Aztecs on their end trying to say goodbye to the PDLs that move on to pro, and an open opportunity here. A nice little tip over from Isaac over the left side.
Oh, wow.
Tapper, another shot wide and in. The next goal is the most important one, and the Ocala Stampede take it. 2-0 atop the Austin Aztecs.
My goodness.
The mountain has grown.
And you just see the I mean, if someone took a photo of this scene, obviously you guys are seeing it live, just the vibes from Austin are horrible. I mean, their heads are down. You know, Danny gets down in the midfield by a great move and just a fantastic give and go. You know, from Janae back, and just a great slot. You know, put Devin down one way and then just slot into the corner, and it's 2-0. I mean, and it just looks like Austin has no answers tonight. You know, it's really unusual. You know, just you see Chewy in the midfield, and he's just kind of, he looks almost mad, like he's, you know, he's just kind of bopping around. You know, you want to see some leadership, some senior leadership to really get in there and say, guys, we're done. You know, there's no more PDL next year. Let's go off in a bang. Let's get to the national finals. Let's host the national finals. I mean, this is crazy. This is a big uphill climb now. 2-0. You only got 40 minutes left.
Well, that's one of the points we're trying to bring up here is you know, this may be the last opportunity they have to play in Austin. I mean, nothing is given for them at this point. Campbell in the right corner trying to get a cross, batted right to him. A lot of these players in the Aztecs may not be returning next year.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a different setup. I mean, you're playing for your pride. You're playing for the city. You're playing for, you know, the front of your jersey. You're playing, you know, to hopefully get called back for next year. And man, it's not looking too good. I mean,
well, that's the third block from Ben Knight. Ben Knight has played effectively as a defenseman for the Stampede on that right side. He's been covering on Job and Cito.
And I like this. Travis is coming up. Travis Golden hadn't been coming up for corners a lot. He's just been sending Kalen, but he's saying enough's enough. Let's get in there. Let's start going forward, guys. Let's start, you know, having chances.
And a corner taken from Cito. Right side header over, blocked away. Craggs takes it away. Over in the middle, chasing over Zoronos. Trying to create some space, lets it go out of bounds for a throw-in. And if you're being even more aggressive, does that even open up even more lapses on the defensive side?
Absolutely. And that's what we chatted about. You know, Ocala could get a third if you start bombing forward. So at this point now, you can't panic. You can't just literally run around and just bomb on forward. You need to collectively just calm down and get that first goal. I mean, 2-0 is still a dangerous lead. Now 3-0 is game over pretty much, but 2-0 is still a dangerous lead. If Austin stays calm and just focuses on just getting a goal, we'll be all right.
Well, they've got 33 minutes to do so, and Janae on the left side tries to pull up. Fighting for possession, gets an out. Over to Kaziri. Lewis, back to Kaziri. Can't hold on to it, maybe a back tip. No, Ryan takes it away, right shot, blocked away.
My goodness.
Ryan puts it on a platter for Helton, and it goes straight to Perales.
And you just see how jacked up Ocala's bench is. They're foaming. They feel it. They see the blood in the water, and Austin's just not getting these second balls out, and Ocala nearly jumps on another one, and they nearly score.
Well, the panic has increased. I mean, you can take a sigh of relief after that if you're on the Austin side, but that just shows how much the game has changed.
I mean, you made a good point. What's scary is you're 2-0 down, and you're still getting the onslaught.
Right.
It's not like it's 2-0 down and we're in their halves. You know, I give credit to Ocala.
They have not played back for this second half. They're attacking, trying to get as much insurance as they can, because I feel they know the Aztecs, they can score in bunches. They needed a few more.
You're absolutely right. They're thinking, listen, if Austin gets one, they might get three. That's just how they do it. So let's just keep going, you know. And again, it's a good lesson to learn if you're a kid out there. I always remembered, you know, from a coaching thing, if you see a team's down the way they're at right now with Austin, you want to just go straight for the jugular. You want to get as much
deep
as you
bomb
can.
to Campbell. He takes a shot left. Terrific pass to get it to Campbell, and perhaps a shot that he felt was right to take there goes wide.
Yeah, and it looks like Austin doesn't have too many subs. You know, you look at our bench; it's actually pretty thin right now. There needs to just be some leadership in this group out there to get it done. I mean, Looks like we've only got a couple players on the bench, actually, compared to Ocala. It's got about, looks like about 9.
Header picked up by Perales, and the substitutes that are normally playing out there anyway have been subbed in.
Yeah.
I mean, the Aztecs have struggled with injuries throughout the entire year, but they've always been able to bring in a few. It's dwindled. You are correct. And in the midfield, Ocala trying to get the possession back into the Aztecs' end. Another lapse open on the left side. Knight with it. On the defense, a nice pass over, but it's taken away by the Aztecs.
Yeah, and Lewis is just able to connect the ball, get in there, and look, they're spraying it around. I mean, they're playing well. Oh, great ball in the middle for...
Tries to tap it back, but Aronis gets to it, and he tackles him down. He will get a foul. Because Quasiri, I mean, he is on a football field, and they are playing a game that's known as football some places. It makes a football play there.
Right on the 30-yard line. It's a good tackle.
It is in some stat sheet somewhere. Perales comes up to send this one into the Ocala end. The Aztecs haven't spent much time there this half. 15 minutes gone in the second half. They've got about 30 minutes to try and make something of it. They're down 2 goals. Harwell sells out. Ouch, gets a foul.
And 30 minutes is still a good amount of time, but I mean, you feel the pressure. Sometimes in these elimination games, it's almost harder to score. I mean, obviously, than the league play where it's more casual and you can really, get some goals. Elimination play, these center backs, these goalkeepers are foaming at the mouth. They're making sure that they're not going to give up an inch, and then it's almost, you feel like you're a boxer in the ring, and you feel Austin doesn't have the energy tonight or something, and, you're just thinking to yourself, we're not going to give up an easy one. And so, I hope Austin can get one, but it's as the time dwindles, it's I don't know. We'll have to see who's able to step up.
Cortez
honestly.
Trying to get it through. I mean, Ocala certainly doesn't want another goal in, but that would certainly spice things up. Throw in. Janae with it. Taken back towards the Aztec side. Out of bounds. Perales will come up to take this one. And Jeff Harwell will come off. So you mentioned, do you bring off defenders to try and create some more action on the side?
Yeah, but that's just a straight midfielder for midfielder. That Jeff just, he looks upset in the sideline. Obviously, he's one of the older players. He's a leader. I know he wants to be out there, but that's just a midfielder for a midfielder. Maybe Jeff was getting a little bit gassed. Coach Manny wanted to make something up, but it looks like from the formation I'm seeing right now, 2 in the back, Travis and Kalen. You've got Cruz and Mickey outside backs, but their goal is to stay very high and wide. And then you're going to have Danny and Franz or Justin sitting in the middle and kind of clearing everything out. So, I mean, it's still your typical 4 defenders and 2, defensive holding mids. But as the game goes on, look for Travis and Kalen to pretty much be back then by themselves. Because you have to have that, right? You have to have Cruz go forward. You have to have Mickey go forward because we're down 2-0, So it's just going to be Janae with our 2 center halves, back there.
I feel like, even if you do leave those 2 back there, that still is a very great option for a forward like Janae to split.
Yeah, he doesn't mind it,
the Aztecs trying to create something on offense here, tapping in. Job with it. Passes back, tries to get to the center of the field, makes it. Ambrose.
Mickey. Oh, he's in.
Here comes Cortez, shot over and taken away.
And here's the counter, right? Janae's just, look at him. Look at Janae going.
He's calling for it, waving with his left hand. Perales will charge and take this one away, but...
perfect. That's what you want to do as defenders, but still, you're right. It's going to be every time.
Perales will have his head on a swivel, looking for a 1-0 throughout the rest of the night on every counter. Freed into the midfield. Cito with the long ball. I mean, taking a long ball there, you feel like that's a little too aggressive there. I mean, they retain possession.
Yeah, sometimes the long ball is good because you win the second ball. It's not necessarily the first one, but the center back headers it out, you get the second one. But Travis is looking around saying, I don't have too many other options, guys.
Well, Cortez tries to take a swing at it. Gets it back. Finding some space, a little move off on the right leg. Taps it over right side, batted out. Morono's trying over to recover.
And it is a sea of big, strong white defenders back there. I mean, it is tough. I mean, look at this defense. You know,
Knight's been battling all day. He gets the call, finding against Job. And you mentioned Kalen Wright, how he's been playing against Janae. Knight's been playing lights out against Job in the second half so far.
Yeah, and it's a tough matchup. I mean, you look at Austin. We're a very technical team, but look at our top four up there. You've got Eddie, Cito, Booba, and Chewy. I mean, the average height there is 5'7". You know, it really is. So it is a small but incredibly quick and talented, don't get me wrong, but a very small lineup. And Austin's always played like that. We've always played technically, quick, soccer, in and out. But it's tough because now there's this sea of just, huge white defenders, at Ocala, and it's a sea of white back there. A ton of white jerseys are just kind of blocking up, what we're trying to do.
Well, I feel like that lack of size takes away the corners and the throw-ins that could possibly get a header in. But I guess the speed, you take that where you can.
So Austin really doesn't want to do corners and headers here. What they want to do is just open people up and try to get in, slip it in and slip it around them.
And coming up, fighting for it is Cortez, and he falls forward, and they get the call.
And they're being physical. Obviously, it's a foul, but they're being physical, and that's going to agitate Chewy.
Well, Blandon comes in and
just cleans them out. Blandon comes out there and
lowers the boom. They get a free kick here, and mentioning here with the lack of size, do you go after the goal? You just try and come up something in the middle because you're probably not going to win the header in this situation.
No, but you want to put in the mix. So you still got some decent height. You got Danny Freed and Travis. I technically meant our offense isn't too high, but you'll put it in the corner and see if someone gets a header.
Batted back. Campbell trying to regain possession. And off an Aztecs player, out of bounds. Ocala gets it. They've spent a good 3 minutes on the Ocala side. No opportunities quite yet, but they're at least spending some time to think about it. And a nice pass over into Janae. Crisp pass, clean.
Look at this possession from Ocala. They've done well here.
Knight with a nice move, getting it down the sideline. Blocked from Moronos. Retains possession. Campbell fighting after. And at this point, up 2-0. They'll play this in and out game as much as they want. That is a beautiful series of passes. Janae chasing after, but Ryden takes it away. And just having the angle that we have to be able to see that from up here is just makes it.
Yeah, there's about 10, 12 passes. Austin's trying to do it a little bit too individual. You got to defend as a team. Everyone's got to get back and work. And sometimes when you go down, it's tough because people lose that sight of hey, everyone has to get behind the ball and everyone has to do this. But oh wow, great ball from Trav.
Into the chest of Moronos, can't handle it. Stampede, take it back, but fighting forward. France goes down after that one, holding his left leg, but it continues to be a shot.
Go on, Chewy.
Chewy in the middle. Shot off the right hand, and it skids into the hands of Craggs.
And that was a challenge and a half with Justin Franz, and that's not good because he just came in.
He's holding that leg, and leg injuries have plagued the Aztecs throughout the season, but also down. We'll get a number for the Ocala Stampede. That's Blandon. Blandon has played well defensively. He's been part of that sea of white that you've called, Ross, throughout this entire half.
No, it's just there's some big boys back there, and they're playing well. And you said Knight especially. He's been fantastic. And, it's going to have to be speed and spacing them out to get a goal. And I could see it as well because that's all I was just a big boy as a center back, and I'd like to kick people and walk along myself. So, to beat players like myself, you have to space it out, you have to get speed, and you have to get around them.
Well, now that Knight is out, he's taking his time getting back in. This might be the time the Aztecs go in. Only 10 players on the field for the Stampede. If there is a time to try and speed things up, you'd feel like it was now.
Yeah. Travis a long one, but,
Well, he comes back onto the field. Regains 11 players. Knight coming over. He'll get the ball, chasing after against Franz, but they retain it. Throw in. Closing in on 70 minutes here in House Park. 20 minutes remaining. Aztecs down 2-0. They need goals, and they need goals quick to be able to advance in the playoffs.
Yeah, we're looking at 20 minutes. It's getting down to the, oh, wow.
Stolen away. Ryland taps it back. We've seen what Janae has been able to do all day. He has a goal already. And a beautiful assist earlier on. The Kitsap Punos won 3-0 over the leaders, FC Tucson, last night. And they await the winner of this game. It will take place next weekend. On the other end, the Michigan Bucks knocked off the first place Des Moines Menace 2-0. And the Jersey Express won against West Virginia. So that's the other end. That's what they're playing for going off to the next weekend.
This just isn't looking good, is it? It's one thing if it's 1-0, but we got 2-0 and 20 minutes to play, and Ocala's doing well. Look, they've earned themselves another corner. It's just right now there's no answer for it. There really isn't.
Over to take it is Lewis Helton.
It's wild. We've seen them all year and just really kind of have their way with teams, right? And it's kind of an unusual sight to see 2-0 down.
First off, headed back. Chewy comes over to try and regain possession, takes into the chest, boots it downfield. Joe uses his speed, coming after it. And shanks that one. Might be an opportunity up for Joe, but he gets it back to Craggs.
Onto the keeper's foot.
Hold on. Wow. Almost two mishaps.
Crazy.
Hearts start to beat a little faster for the Stampede. And Joe just wanted that to happen, licking his chops, saying, "Oh, give me that opportunity."
Yeah, that's speed. Him and Janae, if you squander something off your foot, they're on it.
Oh, here's Janae's a 3-on-4, and the hold on to Jersey up on the left side, trying to find some space, taken down. Here comes Helton. But on that end, they still retain possession. On that end, it looked like Golden was holding on to the jersey of Janae, and he was calling pass interference, whatever call he could get over on that right side.
Look at Dev's leg. He can hit it the entire field. And this is the second ball I'm talking about. They got the first header, but choosing a great opportunity.
Into the middle. Tap back. Campbell's got it. Kicks it to the other side. Ronos. Shot over. Header. Now that one might have sailed over to the locker room, but if that was maybe an inch lower onto his forehead, that might have gone straight towards the goal.
That was gorgeous. That reminded me of the Ronaldo Favela Portugal, goal against the U.S., where Ronaldo, same spot, just rips one in. It was a little bit high, you're right. And Eddie's a fantastic athlete, but I just didn't think he could get up and get that down. But you know what? It's just a chance like that. Just one chance like that, you can be in the mix.
Well,
and we've seen some crazy things happen here. Goals in late stoppage time, and heroics from Chewy, and you just can't let them get one. That's for sure.
Well, Janae gets a call over there, and they call offsides will be given to the Aztecs. And you're right, we have seen a lot coming from Chewy. Also, a couple of weeks ago, the funny thing is it happened twice to the Midland Odessa Sockers, who missed out on the playoffs in a tie.
This is interesting. Eddie's coming off for Foxy. Foxy's a fantastic player, and I love what he brings. But completely different players. Foxy's runs at people, strong, more physical. Eddie's more that crazy speed. He's done well tonight, but you would have loved Eddie to got in the goal, and so he's coming off. So, you know, we'll see. I thought Eddie was a difference maker.
Well, Fox brings in the height to the front side of the field.
But he gets to a point, look, you have to mix something up. You haven't got a goal yet, and I don't think you're taking Chewy or Cito off.
Here comes Cortez. Job in the middle. Takes a shot, roller, picked up by Cracks.
Fantastic. And Booba's really coming into his skin. You know, we were saying a couple weeks ago when the ball was kind of popping off his foot and he really didn't have that control, but he's been fantastic as of late, and that's a great shot. I mean, it just needs one, you know, and then Austin's going to start believing.
Job really, really wanted the stands of Austin to come up, and they might just do that here. Cortez back on the other side. Cito chasing. Gets it, but it will be out of bounds.
Too much. That's unlike Chewy to give a ball like that. He's normally perfect with his passes and his kind of, you know, where to lead people and where to put it. He just kind of plays it a little bit too strong. And, you know, Cito's like, stop making me run.
Set it up easy. Craggs will lose this one. 75 minutes. Cortez taps it down, but it'll be out of bounds. Almost a nice display of
not catching a break, are we?
Getting the toes on, throw in towards the middle.
And the midfield's going to open up as this game goes on. You see there's huge spaces in there.
Tap over too far. Aztecs will regain possession. I mean, it's like minor things like that for Ocala. They don't want to happen because that could have turned into at least 2 more minutes off the clock with them on the offensive end. Instead, Aztecs have another shot.
Here we go.
On the left end. Crossover, right side. Fox takes in the chest.
Great turn, Foxy.
Takes it wide.
Oh, man, and Lewis was getting upset. He thought he got held, and everyone started getting a little bit more angry, and Fox gets the ball, great turn. He ends up rocking one into the side net, but God, that was close.
Fox just almost gave the Aztecs some new life. I mean,
I'm
how
trying
many
to
more
contain
chances?
myself up here. There's just too much energy going on, especially with...
It's bound to happen. How many more chances can you get like that before you get it in the back of the net? Gotta happen. I mean...
Well, and also what happens is you start not believing if you can't get them, right? You know, all of a sudden you start thinking, is this our night?
Well, off the official, turns into a turnover. Ref does his part. Aztecs get it back. Job tries to slow it down, but it rolls away.
And the ref's letting him play, isn't he? I mean, he's not... You know, there's been some clear, fouls that...
Oh, a slide, and they will call that one. Right off of the foot. I mean, I guess he's kind of listed as a midfielder in a way, right? Official.
Yeah. He's been getting in a lot of the action in the midfield for sure, but you can sense the crowd now. They're getting agitated, you know. Mm-hmm. We're down 2-0. It's just, everyone's on their feet now. What's going to come of it?
Well, 77 minutes closing in on 80. The clock keeps on ticking for what may be the last USL PDL game in House Park. Booing starts again. I feel like they're taking a little bit too much time to take this free kick here.
Looks like something's going on in the sideline for Austin. Like, either someone's getting kicked off. Is that what's happening?
He's walking back towards the stands.
I don't know who that is, but it looks like someone's gotten asked to leave.
Well, perhaps that'll spark a little bit more. Oh, and a shot taken. Up and high.
Now the police officer's making sure that person's... It looks like that was one of the Ocala coaches.
Wow.
Correct. Yep, sure is. It's one of the Ocala coaches.
Oh, Eberle's Army had a little fun with that. They're trying to have their fun. It hasn't been so fun for them all night. Corner kick taken from Ocala. Janae coming through. Upper right side taken, header out. Chasing after. Here comes Blandon.
Blandon's been a beast all night as well.
Oh, a nice move on the left side. Helton loses in a nice tackle there by Fox. And, bringing in that substitution, Fox had that angle. He had that shot taken. I mean, is that a spot where Buentello wishes perhaps Campbell was probably still in the game? Cross taken, header out.
No, I don't think so, because Foxy brings stuff that Campbell doesn't bring, and also vice versa. I think he put himself in a great position. He just did everything right. It's just that it's just the last thing, right? He chest, great turn. His body must have been a little bit off center, and he just side netting instead of in the roof of the goal. So I don't think Coach Manning's upset with the change. It's just someone's got to pull their socks up and get one in. The leadership, someone's got to do it out here.
Well, here comes a counter for the Aztecs. Jason Fox trying to get it up. Cortez takes it, and it's taken right away out of bounds. They still gain possession, but that slows them down.
Time's ticking. We've hit the 80-minute mark. This is looking great. I mean, you need to win quick here. You need to get a goal so you can at least try to get the second one.
That one's with the fans.
You've really got to get a goal, right now. Wow, and Chu just gets thrown to the ground.
Trying to earn a call, but it goes out of bounds anyway.
And we talked about going forward now. Now the panic meter's up. There's 10 minutes left in this game. You're down 2-0. There should only be 2 center backs playing defense. Everyone else has to be forward. You've got to get goals here.
Cortez fighting for it, and he gets pummeled. And Ocala will be awarded the ball.
See, I would like Cruz to not even drop back on this. Literally stay high. I mean,
well, he trails all the way towards the midfield.
Obviously, Danny Freed has to get back to win the kick and all that, but we have got to get forward in a hurry.
Well, he wins it off his head. Trying to get back to it, Ocala. Pushes him down. Doesn't get the call. Out comes Freed. They've got the numbers.
There's the counter.
Cortez. Left side. Trying to contain it, but he loses it. Out of bounds will be Ocala ball. I mean, perhaps too individual of an effort.
Sam Duick just absolutely, puts his huge body frame right on Chewy and has just got his number tonight. And that's what I'm talking about, that sea of white. When you're a defender and there's so much panic from their end and they have to go forward, you can just read him. Don't dive in, don't cause a foul, and when he pushes the ball one way, just put your body in front of him and the ball. So,
well, they're trying to release these matchups, at least find some open space to where they can at least have an attempt at a shot. And this one goes down in the right corner.
And he's just going to let that go out, smart, and Ocala's just going to, be smart about it and milk the clock. Not necessarily milk it, but,
Well, they're up 2 goals. They can do whatever they like.
And the second half, the first half seemed to go on for ages. The second half seems to have flown by, and it's already, a couple minutes to closing time, and Austin sees himself down 2-0.
Joe picks this one up. He wants a call. He'll get it. But that I almost feel like he wishes he hadn't had the call. The fight results. They're pushing, shoving. Things settle down.
Pushes to the face and jabs, and
there's still a little Cito talking. Ben Knight trying to be the ambassador and close things up.
You almost saw this coming with the way the ref was just kind of letting things go. And
the jersey grabbing started on the other end with Ryden against Janae, and that's gone on both sides throughout this. That just probably had it. But Cortez gets this one.
And look, everyone's forward now. I'm almost waiting for Devin to come up at one point here.
6 minutes left in regulation. Desperation, almost a must to get 2 goals. They need 2.
And look at this, the clock's ticking. Obviously, he's going to add some on, but clock's ticking. And I will say one thing about Orlando, and it's tough because I'm getting jacked up in this press box, but they're winning the kind of mental aggressive edge, which you hate to see from an Austin fan. They look tougher out there. They really do. We're missing a couple key aggressors in there, like Andres Cuero, who's able to really tackle people and set a tone, but they look strong out there,
Well, is there magic left for the Aztecs? Cortez taps it and headed out. Still in trouble here. Coming after is France. Bopped back. Into the midfield. Overcomes Janae. Wow. He's had the speed. Aronos.
He actually waited a little bit.
Aronos had a body. Great pass wide open. Another shot. Perales comes up and saves it. And talks down. He looks down and has a few words with the down man.
It's getting chippy, all right.
Not today, perhaps. Maybe a little bit more than that. But the Aztecs still down 2 goals. I mean, that was a terrific save. I mean, I really thought that was the 3rd one for Ocala.
And now Devin's going over to him.
He gets a shove back.
And you don't like to see this from Austin. I don't know why it's had to get like this. And the refs completely lost control, and it's not, I get it, Devin's jacked up and all that, but it's just gotten a tiny bit out of hand, and it looks like, it almost feels like Austin's giving away, saying we're not going to win this, but we're going to turn it into a fight. And you don't like to see that. You really want to, teams have been professional against us. We really want to, close it out being professional, and it looks like it has gotten a bit, a bit wild there,
and the clock is ticking. Is that the way you want to say goodbye?
Right. Clock's ticking. You're down 2-0.
Time you spend jawing could be time you spend kicking, getting back into this one.
Right. Exactly. It almost feels like the writing's been on the wall, and you're just getting chippy out there, and it's tough. I mean, you see the frustration. They've wanted the national championship. That's what we want day in, day out, and so it's unless a miracle happens here in the next 4 minutes. 2 goals in 6-7 minutes.
Crazy things have happened, but Ocala trying to make it their first Southern Conference championship in their short 3-year history. It'd be quite a monumental win for them. Getting over to Janae in the middle. Fox trying to stop this one and at least get the ball back. Another time for Lewis Helton. Nice little move towards the level. Shot wide, picked up. Janae coming after, swatted away.
And see, you're right. I mean, Ocala, I keep saying Orlando. Ocala keeps putting this pressure. I mean, look at this. It's sad. Fans are heading for the exits because it's the 87th, 88th minute. And instead of us down their end, they've got a corner against us. You have to give Ocala credit. They really have kind of earned this victory tonight. When you're getting corners 2-0 up with 2 minutes left, you've done well. You really have.
This corner onto the back post. Header, bounce to the middle. Cito clears. Job trying to get back up. Produce some offense for the Aztecs, but it goes back again into the Aztecs defense. I mean, you've mentioned that they spent most of the time on this field. And a bash down. That might start even more.
This ref wants this game over quick.
Yellow card pulled.
A yellow card has been sent to Austin Aztecs number 3, Mikey Ambrose.
Just a forearm shiver. And that clock continues. I mean, I feel like 6 minutes have rolled off just by started fights alone.
Yeah, I don't think the ref's going to give too much time for the fact that they've kind of been more on the fighting edge. Right. I think he wants this game to be kind of over with. It's I don't want to say it's gotten a little bit out of hand, but the refs let him play, and aggression's kind of taken over. It's turned a bit, just a tiny bit nasty as of late, which you really don't want to see. But now it's also it's also turning a little bit flamboyant too. I don't think it was that bad of a foul from Mickey, but what's going to happen is someone's on the ground, Ocala's going to, make it a big deal, or same vice versa. You're almost looking for a fight now because you're almost a little bit angry.
Well, Lewis gets it over to Janae, headed out. 89 minutes, 30 seconds towards the end of regulation. The sand is beginning to run out on the Magic here for the Aztecs. The Kitsap Pumas await the winner tonight, next weekend, for a chance at the PDL Championship. Aztecs still scrapping away, and the Ocala Stampede get it back once again. They have maintained the possession throughout the entirety of what should be an attempt of a comeback.
Yeah, and you got to give Ocala credit. I mean, they came down here. They beat Laredo Heat. Obviously, I know it was penalties. But they beat Laredo and Austin, away from home, back-to-back nights. And, this game pretty convincingly. I mean, 2-0, and honestly, it looked like almost they had more chances than Austin did for the fact that it could be 3 or 4, right? I mean,
our official has indicated there will be no fewer than 4 minutes.
There are 4 minutes of extra time added, and it feels like it should be more on that end, but you mentioned that the Aztecs have been on the fighting end of most of these. Do you feel like that's diminished at all in that?
Yeah, I think, there's never a time where there's a huge amount. It's not like there's been people on the ground for a long, long time. There's just been a couple of scuffles for a couple of minutes. So I think 4 minutes is fair. Mm-hmm. You can maybe see 5 minutes, but, in stoppage time, it's never, I think 7 is normally like the max. You never see more than 7, and it hasn't been that big. So I think 4 was a fair number. And honestly, it looks like...
Well, they're trying to... This is the first time the Aztecs have passed the 20-yard line in the past 8 minutes, and they call a foul right on Cito. You can't believe it.
It's just frustrating. I mean, you're looking at just frustration out there tonight. It's...
As soon as they get over for what could potentially turn into what might be a possibility of a try to goal, a turnover on a foul.
Yeah.
That's got to be heartbreaking.
Jack Bailey for number 10.
Yeah. I mean, and I was going to say, it's not like Austin are sore losers, but, Austin, we don't lose too much. That's kind of ingrained in the DNA of this, the reigning champions of the PDL, going pro next year. There's a lot of pressure, and from the get-go, this game just wasn't ours tonight, and that happens, and that's what's tough about the one-game elimination.
Well, off the field goes Karamba Janae, who has torched the Aztecs defense all night, produced the first goal, and had a beautiful, beautiful pass and a nice pass to Isaac Illich that produced the second.
Yeah, great slot from Illich as well, and Janae's been fantastic tonight. I mean, he's a player to watch for. Would love to see where he goes in the future. Maybe we'll take him for Austin in the pro. How's that?
A nice shift of irony. They've got a nice rack of tape on him. Browns watch that one sky over. Clock ticking, probably less than a minute remaining. And Kitsap is definitely eyeing number 10 next week. They'll have their hands full. Perales loses this one into the middle. Taking up Cortez, maybe a late score from what has been as Austin's favorite. And a counter ensues.
Oh, wow.
Nice
goes right
around, a tap over, and perhaps another goal blocked away from Perales. And, oh, no, another shot maybe perhaps comes up, and he slides over after it. Here's more talking and more shoving.
More shoving.
Happens more. Yellow card.
And Devin's been fantastic tonight. I mean, goes to my alma mater, Coastal Carolina. I know he's going to have a fantastic year next year. It's just, the 2 goals tonight weren't his fault, and he's just been a beast the second half. I mean, there's been wide open one-on-ones that he's had to come up big. And it looks like he's getting a bit frustrated just because, it's tough. I mean, we're 2-0 down, and this is the end of this run, and it looks like just the defense seems to be collapsing. But obviously, we talked about it. That was going to happen, especially when you bomb forward.
And when it surprised a lot of people, and this surprises me as well, that they were unable to produce a goal. And I think that is a great testament to how well Ocala has played on the defensive side. And a chip up. Cito trying to come after, maybe a late goal here.
Cito wants
taps it up, left shot, and taken away. And that just might sum up the entire day.
Yep.
And that's the final whistle. The Ocala Stampede get past the first round for the first time in their history, and they move on as the Southern Conference champions, knocking off the #1 seed and defending PDL champions, Austin Aztecs.
And you see what it means for Austin. I mean, packed house tonight. All the players are on the ground, and it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I mean, give credit to Ocala. I mean, they came in here, they put up with this fight that was almost about to happen, and they were tough. I mean, 2-0 against Austin. It's a big performance.
And they'll move on to face off with the Kitsap Pumas, who knocked off the #1 seed FC Tucson. So they'll have their hands full. And it's been a series of upsets on this side of the bracket, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's tough. I think Austin can definitely, hold their head high. Coach Manny's been fantastic. Assistant coach Zach Pope's been great. I'd love to see, if the organization keeps them for the pro duration. They've definitely, at least earned for kind of, that conversation, all that stuff. We'd love to see Coach Manny back as the head coach because I thought he was absolutely brilliant this year. But yeah, if you look back at the rapport of, regional finals, losing, and then the year before, winning the national championship, and then the year before, losing the regionals or regional finals or semis, I can't fully remember. But I mean, great couple of years. I mean, Austin's been fantastic. We've really kind of held that Mid-South down with a stranglehold, and now we're going up to the pro. Great fan base, great organization. Just a tough loss, and I give Ocala a lot of credit. I mean, they came in here, and they were just a little bit more angry. I don't know if you saw that too. They were just a little bit more jacked up. And Austin just wasn't built for a team, really. And also, we hadn't seen it. We hadn't gone down a lot of games in regular seasons. We were just that good in the Mid-South where we didn't lose a lot of games 2-0 ever. So it was tough for us to know how to bounce back and know how to dogfight because normally we were just kind of so much more quicker and technical than other teams. We were able to get away from them. I mean, we saw a lot of games 7-2, 5-0, 6-0. I can't even recall the score sheets where it's just a party out here and people are just banging in goals. And it's a different game where you have to get up there and have some leadership and seniority, and it's tough. I know Andres Cuero could have definitely brought that to the table. But it's tough. They looked like there was a time where Ocala were just angry. They were aggressive. They were just getting stuck in. And you talk about as coaches, you always talk about 50-50s. 50-50s are huge and beating the player against you. So if I'm a center mid, I'm marking that center mid. It's me and him all day. And if I'm a defender, I'm marking that forward. And Janae looked like he had the better of our forwards tonight, of our defenders. If you asked someone, hey, who won that matchup, Janae, their forward, or our defenders, you'd have to give it to Janae. You just would. And who won the matchup of our forwards and their defenders, you'd have to give it to their defenders. I mean, 0 goals. Adam Black, Cito, Eddie Campbell, Foxy, Chewy, they all had, these are not world class, but they're top forwards, and they all had their go. And Ocala just kind of across the board with 2-0 that's a solidifying win.
Right, and we'll have a post-game interview with our sideline reporter Alex Wilkins coming up shortly. But 2-0, you mentioned it. Not a way that they would have liked to say goodbye, but the Austin Aztecs closing off, going pro next year, as you say, moving on to what they would call bigger things. But, they wish they would have brought back another title. But going on, a lot of the players that we've seen tonight may not be returning next year. They might, who knows, might be playing for Ocala. You have no idea where a lot of the fate goes for the rest of these players.
Let's not go that far now. No, I'm just messing. Ocala is an awesome organization. It'd be great to see that. But no, you're right. I mean, people are playing for a contract. I mean, You know, Devin Prowse, I hope he has a fantastic year with the Chanticleers and takes them deep. Who knows where he goes after his college term's up. He'd be a fantastic keeper to sign. You've got, Cito. He was trials, got selected by the Dynamo.
Mm-hmm.
If we can bring him on. So you're right. There's players, Jeff Harwell, and a bunch of others. Andres Cuero, Chewy. Obviously, the fans would love to have Chewy on the team. So you're right. There's going to be a transition, and it's going to be an exciting one, but also a sad one. I mean, there's going to be people that don't make that next call up because he can't bring everyone. This is a jump from the PDL to the USL. Mm-hmm. You're going to be going against the Charleston Batteries of the world and the Rochester Rhinos and those organizations. So you're going to have to make a jump. But I mean, don't get mistaken that there's not a good crop in there and you can't make a good base, because you absolutely can. I mean, the PDL is the groundway for MLS, and you have a lot of MLS players come from the PDL. So, I hope to see a decent crop, and I'm excited to see the new faces they bring in and see where this organization goes. And it looks like Coach Manny's getting his last farewell interview of the season, at least.
Yeah, and with that, Coach Manuel Buentello comes through, and we're going to go right to our post-game interview with Alex Wilkins.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Coach Buentello. Tough loss tonight. What do you think are some of the deciding factors?
Actually, I think it's a game of missed chances. We had 3 or 4 very clear opportunities to get on the board, and we didn't take advantage of them. And so, when they had their opportunities, they certainly took advantage of them, and that's I think the game. Pretty much.
Absolutely. Well, obviously, super tough loss, but it's been a great season. What did you tell these boys just right now?
Oh, I told them that there's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to hang their heads down for. I mean, it's a great, great season. I told them that if they would have told me at the very beginning that we were going to end up in the conference final, I would have said, I don't think so. I think, if we have, if we go, win a little bit more than we lose, I think we're going to be okay. So, they should be very proud of their season, because I think their season was very, very good.
So this season may be over, but this team has so much to look forward to. Obviously, number one reason being that you're going pro next year. Correct. So what does that mean to you and this team?
Well, actually, it's we haven't discussed much of that yet. But now that we're done, we will probably start kind of looking into, what the next step is going to be for, this particular group of boys and moving forward with the pro team.
Absolutely. One more thing, the crowd. As we've seen it this season, it just continues to grow. How has that energy impacted this team?
Oh, obviously, players want to play in front of crowds, and our fans are the best in the PDL, and they come out and they support us, and we are so grateful for that, and the players feed completely off of them. And so, yes, they've been fantastic, and we benefit tremendously from it.
Well, thank you so much, Coach. Great season.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. And back to you.
Thank you, Alex. And we return to our post-game show here on Texas Student Television, and hearing from Coach Manuel Buentello, and what many people hope is not his last farewell and the last time they hear from him, but at the end of this one, Ocala Stampede are the Southern Conference champions, winning this one 2-0. And welcome back to the post-game interview here. Ross Kelly alongside myself, Brooks Cabina, here for the post-game here on Texas Student Television. And the end of the road, the end of a story. It's a new opportunity for the Aztecs, part 2. They've gone through the second stage of USL PDL, and they go on and will be going pro next year.
Yeah, it's kind of like that summer loving. It's that's what you have to love about the PDL season and the Aztecs. It is a bit quick and it's short-lived, but it's funny how these people come from all over the country, have all their respective colleges that they have to go back to, and a lot of people have also jobs and other things, and I know Coach Manny coaches elsewhere, and we come together for a very short time period, and like I've said earlier, you become a family. You get so close knit. The teams that go well are the organizations that really take care of their players, and that's what we do here in Austin. And it's just a tough game. You can't be that upset because we lost 2-0, right? It's another thing if you lose by PK or something, then you can really hold your heads down. But this is when we look back and say, look, Ocala, just tip your hats. Well played. They 2-0 solidified win. Now it's just about looking back and saying, hey, great season. and let's hope some of these guys are back for next year. But also exciting because as of right now, the organization's pro, and that's exciting to get geared up. We've loved playing in the PDL. I was playing the PDL even back when I was in college on this team, and it's good to see us traveling to Canada, traveling to the East Coast. Playing those USL organizations. It's gonna be fun.
Right, and on that note, with Ocala moving on and playing in this game, a lot of great play off of the Ocala end. Just from the players that you saw, player of the game.
I would have to say Jeba up top. I mean, I thought he was fantastic. He just ran riot on our back line, and he solidified that great goal. Another Gambian as well. So obviously him, Kakuta, and Buba have all produced some great players from that country. But he was just able to just really just take off and against Pineda in the first half really kind of expose that matchup, and Kalen was able to hold him down. But he was fantastic, and from Austin it was tough. We just no one really kind of shone that bright tonight. It was just we just collectively lost, which is okay. I mean, that happens, that happens in playoffs. It was a tough overall team loss, but yeah, absolutely.
Well, certainly at the end of that one, Janae certainly played well, deserving that one. 1 goal, 1 assist. I mean, he's played lights out throughout this entire season. I mean, it's been impressive what he's been able to do, in the Kitsap Pumas awaiting him and the rest of Ocala next weekend to see who moves on to the national championship. Unfortunately for Austin fans and Austin viewers, Austin Aztex will be going home for the last time.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, and not to cut you off, sorry, but Kitsap Pumas is a great organization, Pacific Northwest, I believe, and they take their soccer seriously up there, so that's going to be a good one to see. And like you mentioned, there's a couple of big marquee organizations that have bowed out already, so we'll see. Listen, I would love Ocala to go all the way. I mean, give them credit. I thought they played really well, and they're fundamentally very sound. Elijah Ellich was also fantastic as well. We said watch out for him. So, there's some great clubs around the PDL level. We're going to miss playing against them. Hopefully it'll be great seeing them in the U.S. Open Cup. But I think Austin right now, we can't be too upset. I think it was always going to be tough to repeat the national championship. And that's just how it goes. Sometimes the ball just rolls in your court. I mean, we had everything going for us last year, and we just came up a tiny bit short this year. And you never know. I mean, if Laredo wins again in that penalty shootout, maybe we beat Laredo just because we're more used to him. It's just a tough setup. If Janae doesn't get that early first goal, it's a whole different scene, right? Maybe if Kalen's on him earlier, maybe we get a goal. So, it was. Also fatigue. We had the game last night, so it's just I don't think we're too upset, like I said, because when you win 2-0, you knew the game was over for a while, right? But I think Austin can be really excited. I think the ownership and everyone is just going to be unbelievably excited for what's going to be in store for us for the future.
And looking forward to that future, going pro next year. It may be a little too soon to start thinking about all of that, but how do you feel that will fare?
Oh, I don't think it's too soon at all. I think that starts now. I think, I don't think there's too many sour heads in there because I think there's a lot of people you'll see back in the mix again. Mm-hmm. I think Coach Manny, by the way, is a touch of class. I mean, just been an awesome coach. I mean, been there for the assistant coach for the national championship and just did a fantastic job this year. I mean, it didn't skip a beat the organization. Let's see if he gets the call up. I'd love to see that. And there's a lot of players in the mix that are vying for an option, because here's the thing, it's tough. I was in that same boat where the MLS is a tough cookie to crack, because you get in, a lot of players get drafted, but a lot of players get cut. Just because they have a lot of internationals, a lot of older players, a lot of these 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds, get cut. And it'd be great to see a couple players stick around and play for us for the USL. Obviously, they're going to have to try out. They're going to have to beat out other people. But it'd be great to have a good core here in Austin and build that around, because there's definitely players that are capable. But as far as turning that leaf, no, absolutely, that starts now. I know the back office is already geared up and ready to go. We've put some things in place that are already seeing great. We had a beer garden set up today and thousands of fans. So the fans, the people, everyone's pumped up about it. So professional and all that stuff, that starts now.
Yeah. So the future is bright for the Aztecs as they move forward, and the Ocala Stampede get to continue their legendary and historical run for them, the 3 years that they've had. But that ends the trip for us on the
telecast
throughout this season. It's been great
having you guys along with us for the rest of the road. I'd like to thank everybody part of this on the Texas Student Television end. Landon Goss, Renee Moreno, Alex Wilkins, everybody that's been a part of all this. It's been fun
great.
having you with us as well, Ross.
Absolutely. What are we doing for 7-8 months now?
I don't know. Waiting for the pro, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thanks for staying with us here for the rest of the broadcast, and looking forward to seeing how things go with the professional here in Austin. Lots of soccer, lots of happening things going on in Austin. So the final score tonight, 2-0, Ocala Stampede over the Austin Aztecs. They'll move on as Southern Conference champions for the first time. And we hope all of you have a good night and continue watching Aztec soccer as the future comes.
Coming up on Sneak Peek, we've got a review of the new Muppets film.
And a sultry new edition of Style Squad.
All this and tons more fabulous interviews coming up on Sneak Peek.
Starting now.